We've waited till the very end of April, final day of the month, for the coldest game of the season. The Houston Astros in Minneapolis for Game 2 of this 4-game set. It's been raining a lot of this afternoon, but we have cleared off just in time for game time. The Astros come in with a record of 17-12. The Twins in first place in the AL Central at 17-9. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Target Field. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Blubber, this is a place normally the Astros score a lot of runs. Last night wasn't the case. It'll be nice to get those bats going.
No, these bats are like the weather outside, ice cold. And you saw that statue of Harmon Killebrew. Even he's cold out there right now.
It is definitely a colder night tonight, but hopefully they'll get it turned around in our league leaders presented by Houston Methodist. The Astros keep playing teams who have been doing very well this year. The Astros have not taken on a team that has not had at least a winning record going into the series, the lone exception being Tampa Bay, and nobody's going to have a winning record because that's start of the year. Milwaukee, Kansas City, Baltimore, San Fran all trail the Astros in toughest schedule, and the Astros also have the best record amongst those teams. Tonight, they go to Gerrit Cole.
It'll be Gerrit Cole's first start against the Minnesota Twins and the first one up here in Minnesota. We know he's pitched in some awful weather coming up with Pittsburgh, but this will be a little bit different challenge. He is the leader of the spin rate division. That is why he has 13.4 strikeouts per 9 to lead Major League Baseball. He does a very good job with that electric fastball. We've seen him touch 100 miles an hour at times. He would like to get out to an early start, get these aggressive bats of the Minnesota Twins behind in counts so he can get to some of that slider and breaking ball stuff that he has. Swing and miss is going to be good tonight because I wouldn't want to try and get jammed against 97 plus from Gerrit.
Yeah, should be advantage Cole if he's comfortable out there. He's a guy from California but pitched in the NL Central for a lot of years. We'll have more when we come back after this on AT&T Sportsnet, to you by Toyota. Let's go places. The Astros wrap up the month of April tonight in Minnesota. We'll look back at some of the great moments so far this year.
Minnesota, we're in to be a very chilly evening. The temperatures in the low 40s today, and after raining most of the day, it is dry enough for this game to be played. The Astros do have to get to work. They're going to try to come back into the series and take it from the Twins after dropping the first game, getting shut out by Twins pitching yesterday. It was a very tough night for these Astros at the plate. It has been for some time, but we saw it right here in this ballpark, struggling to get runs across as they were shut out, but they only put up 4 hits last night. And like I mentioned, it's been a few games now where the offense hasn't exactly been clicking. They're coming off of against Cleveland, who pitched well against them as well, just making it really hard for them to score runs. They've actually averaged around 2.5 runs in their last 5 games. Tonight's conditions will be tough for hitters. Once again, I actually asked AJ about this, guys. I know it's tough up there for you in that warm booth, but AJ talking about how he's a little bit concerned for the offense. It's a tough night for them to get going, especially with these conditions and the way that they've been pitched here lately. But he said, no one likes to play in it, but we are going to need someone to just really come out and provide a spark for us. We really do need to get it going. This can't last very long. It can be mentally grinding when there's not a whole lot of activity out there, but that is not an excuse. And he hopes that they get it going tonight. Facing Michael Pineda for the second time. Last Thursday, they put up some hits on him, 4 runs on 8 hits against the right-hander. So hoping for more of that tonight. TK.
All right, Julia, by the way, it's an open invitation if you ever want to stop up in the booth.
Oh, my gosh. There's an extra headset up here. Get up here and hide if you need to, please.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I think the feels-like temperature might be in the upper 30s. We'll find out at first pitch, but it's definitely not one of those days. If he didn't have to be outside, he probably wouldn't be outside. But these guys have to be outside because there's a major league game to play. How do you prepare, Blubbers, when you're going out there and it's cold and you're trying to get hits offensively?
You can do everything you want. You can put Vaseline all over your face to try and cut down on the wind burn. You can wear as many layers as you want. You can have as many of those hot packets in the back of your pocket. But mentally, that's where the challenge is. It's inside your head, trying to get over that fear of being cold and having those hands cold. And as a big league hitter, you're always constantly trying to get the barrel to the baseball. There's even more emphasis on getting the barrel to the baseball on a day like this. If you don't get that barrel to the baseball, you get it off the end of the bat, you get jammed, those hands are going to feel like you have a handful of bees stinging you.
Well, hopefully this lineup will keep the barrel on the baseball tonight as we look at the Astros lineup for A.J. Hinch with George Springer back after having a day off yesterday. Did get a pinch hit appearance, and then Jose Altuve moves back to his normal 2 spot, followed by Alex Bregman, Michael Brantley, and Carlos Correa, who has always hit well here at Target Field and rides the hitting streak. Josh Reddick will get his first DH day as an Astro. He'll bat 6 and let Miss Diaz at first base. Robinson Chirinos behind the plate. And batting 9th in center field is Jake Marisnick.
On the mound for the Minnesota Twins is 6'7", 280-pound right-hander Michael Pineda from the Dominican Republic. There you see the numbers on the season. In 5 starts, he has thrown in 24 innings. At ERA, not very good, up over 5.5. Last time he was out there, he did face the Houston Astros in Minute Maid Park, going 5 1/3 before he gave up 4 earned runs.
Well, Pineda will be on the mound tonight for the Twins, and here's who he will have defensively behind him in the outfield. Eddie Rosario, who DH'd last night, will be in left field. Byron Buxton, the speedy center fielder, and Max Kepler is in right. Ray Adrianza gets another start at third base, back-to-back games. He hit the home run last night for the Twins' 1-0 victory. Jorge Polanco at shortstop, Jonathan Scope and C.J. Cron on the right side, and the former Astro Jason Castro, his 12th start behind the plate. Marwin Gonzalez getting the night off tonight for the Minnesota Twins. Well, here's George to lead things off. Springer last night, the 1 pinch hit appearance, grounded out in his lone at bat. George comes in to this game batting .268, and he swings to the first pitch and grounds one towards the middle. Jonathan Scope is there, and that's how this game starts. 1 pitch and 1 out. Pineda, big man, 6'7", 280, 30-year-old out of the Dominican. Slider a key pitch for him, and we'll see how he is able to manage through these cold temperatures. As you can see, all pitchers tonight will be able to blow into their hands to stay warm on the mound. Official game time temperature 45 degrees with a 14-mile-an-hour wind. That makes the feels like right around 39 or 40.
Perfect.
And a light drizzle at the start of tonight's game.
Just another added element for the enjoyment of the fans that actually showed up.
A lot of fans have decided to stay underneath or even stay away from Target Field tonight with these conditions. Down low to Altuve, it's 2-1.
You know, you were asking about all the things that you can do as a player. There were actually batting gloves out there. I remember I had a batting glove contract with Franklin. They had a great batting glove where the palm, where you actually held the bat, was the normal batting glove leather. And on the back, it was made out of wetsuit material that really did a good job of retaining the heat.
Diving stop by Adrianza, who gets up and throws out Altuve. Altuve looked like he had extra bases down that third base line. Instead, he's out number 2.
Too early and too cold to be making plays like this, but Ray Adrianza does a good job. Watch that first step on our Matches Firm Supermo. Just opened up that right foot, laid out. See it rattle around the glove, but he knocked it down and made a great play on Altuve, who can run extremely well.
Well, 2 outs. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Alex has walked in 10 consecutive games and starts the night having reached base in 14 straight. While his on-base percentage is at .414, 8th in the American League. Pineda misses outside. It's 2-0. Pineda did not pitch with the Twins last year, recovering from Tommy John surgery. He was signed as a free agent in the offseason leading into last year, knowing that they might not get a full season out of him. They didn't get any starts out of him last year. 2-1 the count.
It sounds like the Texas Rangers game plan. Signing those guys after that Tommy John surgery. Taking a flyer, see what they can get, how many innings they can get.
Ball drilled into center field. Buxton on the move, still going back, jumps up and makes the catch and crashes into the wall. Fine defensive plays by Adrianza and Buxton in the first.
Chilly evening. Gerrit Cole mound. This will be his first appearance against the Minnesota Twins, whether at home or on the road. On the season, this will be his 7th start. In those previous 6 starts, he has 5 quality starts, so ignore that record. He's pitching pretty well this season, regardless of that record or ERA.
Cole will face the following lineup for the Twins tonight, with Max Kepler leading things off, followed by Jorge Polanco and Nelson Cruz back in the DH role. Eddie Rosario in left field bats for C.J. Cron at first base. Jonathan Scope at second. Ray Adrianza at third base. And Jason Castro, the former Astro, bats 8th and catches in front of Byron Buxton. A couple of nice defensive plays for the Twins in that first inning. Adrianza robbing Altuve, and Buxton running down one against Alex Bregman as Kepler fouls back the first pitch from Gerrit Cole for strike 1. Well, Plummer mentioned Gerrit Cole's never faced this team. He has now run the full circuit in the major leagues. He had not faced the Twins. They were the last remaining team for Gerrit, other than facing his former squad in Pittsburgh, which would be a big story later on this year if that happens.
There's a shocker. Another foul ball for Max Kepler.
That first at bat yesterday against Justin Verlander, Kepler drew a walk. Verlander threw him nothing but fastballs for the first 8 pitches. Finally, he threw him a slider, fouled off the 9th pitch, and then walked him on a fastball as Kepler made Justin work early and often. Verlander hung in there for 6 innings worth of 1-run baseball. And he has fouled back 97 from Gerrit Cole. It's 1-2. Gerrit's hoping that he does not have a repeat performance here. Quick inning for Pineda, helped out by a couple of defensive plays. One of those nights as a pitcher, you hope to have relatively quick innings if possible. Tries to get him to fish on the breaking ball, and he does not, says third base umpire Adrian Johnson. It's 2-2. Upstairs, count goes full.
That slider looked a little more like a cutter, but how about our home plate umpire Bill Miller gutting it out without sleeves?
What?
Gamer.
Well, the game last night and the game tonight start out the same way. A walk to Max Kepler. This one was a 9-pitch plate appearance last night against Verlander, 10-pitch plate appearance. So Kepler doing his job as the initial batter for Rocco Baldelli. Brent Strom looks on. Here's Jorge Polanco. Twins starting tonight 2.5 games in front of Cleveland in the American League Central. They have won 4 in a row. Same scenario as the last time they faced the Astros. They just came off a 3-game sweep of the Orioles last time they played Houston, and then won the first game of that series. Astros came back to win the next 2 in that 3-game set at Minute Maid Park, and then this time around the Twins won 3 in a row again against Baltimore, won the first game of this series. See what the Astros are able to do here over the final 3 games. Cole's missed with the first 2 to Polanco. It's 2-0.
Command, a bit of an issue early on for Gerrit Cole. Not missing by much, but missing just enough. 10 pitches, 3 strikes.
the issues you wonder about with a pitcher, too, is how he feels out there commanding the baseball, gripping that baseball. There's a strike. Cole this year making his 5th start on the road of his 7 starts to this point. Started the night with 54 strikeouts, tied with Max Scherzer for the most in the major leagues. But he's inside, ball 4 to Polanco. So a walk to Kepler, a walk to Polanco is how this game starts. Gerrit Cole has walked as many as 3 in a game this year. But just like he did in his last start, he's walked back-to-back batters in the first inning. Last start he did it with 2 outs. Here's Nelson Cruz. Cruz did not play in last night's game. Did appear as a pinch hitter and doubled in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Cole's had a season or a game high 3 walks, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Last time out, he also had 3 walks against the Cleveland Indians, but backed that up with 10 strikeouts. And a guy who really wears his frustration on his sleeve is Gerrit Cole, whether he's frustrated with himself, the strike zone. But I think right now it's a lot of frustration with himself. And a couple of guys trying to help right here are Robinson Chirinos and Carlos Correa, just trying to calm him down and give him the confidence and tell him, hey, your stuff's electric enough. You don't have to be on the edges. Get back in the strike zone and start believing in your stuff.
Now, one of those days, too, as a starter, you have to convince yourself the whole day that you're sitting around the hotel before you come out here, there will be baseball, because the last thing you want to do is come out here and think you're definitely going to get rained out and then have to go at it. But Gerrit so far has struggled in these conditions, and that ball slipped out of his hand a little bit and stayed up high. It's 2-0.
Yeah, there's ways around that on cold days like this to be able to get a grip on that baseball. But again, at the same time, we've heard from other broadcasting crews that have come through with some of these cold weather teams where the pitchers literally have complained about not being able to feel the baseball. And you can put whatever you want on your hand to be able to create a grip, but if you can't feel how that baseball is coming out of your hand, that's the issue for some of these pitchers.
Gerrit, 15 pitches so far, only 5 strikes, couple of walks, and a 2-1 count here to Nelson Cruz. Cruz swings through 97. It's 2-2.
Reaching the top portion of that zone on our MD Anderson strike zone. You can see down and in and then up and away. That's some tough coverage right there, but you would really like to see Gerrit Cole somehow get Nelson Cruz out, whether it's a strikeout or a ground ball double play.
Cole has faced Cruz more than any other Twin on the roster. 11 at bats against Cruz. He is 3 for 11 with 3 doubles. Kepler and Polanco drew walks, and now Cole with a 3-2 count. Probably has to come in with something pretty decent here to Nelson Cruz. We have seen Gerrit in his last couple of starts against Cleveland and prior to that against the Texas Rangers on the road, where he's had to reach back a little bit more than he normally does in that first inning because he's had some traffic. Saw him throw a pitch at 100 miles an hour 2 starts ago in Texas to retire Joey Gallo. That was the first out of the game at the 32nd pitch. This ball skied and headed out of play. Gerrit's at 18 pitches today, still looking for that first out.
I don't think I've ever been so annoyed at foul balls in all my career.
If we're not out there, we're freezing.
Exactly. I'm not standing behind him trying to stay warm in case I get a ground ball hit at me.
Guys reaching into that back pocket. Plummer told you last night on the broadcast, usually you keep little quick heaters back there, keep those hands warm.
There's a ball rocketed to Correa, down to a knee, flips to Altuve. The double play is turned. Great job by Correa on a ball that was roped at the Astros shortstop.
I know it's a little bit early in the game, but we may look back and say, wow, that play that Carlos Correa made on that rocket of a ground ball off the bat of Nelson Cruz was a huge play. Not just for the Astros themselves, but for Gerrit Cole to keep him in this ball game and try and get him out of here unscathed, even with a high pitch count. That was a huge double play.
That ball was rocketed at Carlos Correa at over 115 miles an hour. There's a line drive down the right field line, but foul. Just foul, says Chris Siegel, the first base umpire. And yeah, this inning, Gerrit's been living on the edge a little bit. Diaz over at first base today. Billy Gurriel getting the night off.
Right down Main Street. Go ahead and try that one.
See the hoodie around the neck of Eddie Rosario. Most of the Astros are going with the hoodie. Some guys are wearing it. Aledmus Diaz and George Springer going full bore with it. The rest of the guys have it around their necks except for Altuve and Springer. Excuse me, except for Altuve and Brantley. This one's fouled out of play. It's 0-2. And of course, Gerrit Cole. There's the garb of the night.
Yeah, if you got it, I'm with Aledmus Diaz. If you got it, use it, wear it.
Tuve, no problem. Down low, it's 1-2. Gerrit throwing a number of pitches here in the first innings, up to 24. His mound opponent, Michael Pineda, needed just 9 pitches in the top half of this inning.
Good grief.
Twins are a tough team to strike out. In fact, the Astros are going to face the 2 toughest teams in the American League to strike out on this road trip. The Angels are first, and the Twins are second in fewer strikeouts this year. Justin Verlander knows that. He had to work hard just to get to 7 last night. He was throwing a lot of quality pitches that were fouled away. Fly ball center field, playable. Jake Marisnick will wait for it. And the Astros get through the bottom half of the first inning. Cole had to work around a couple of walks.
Stropole. Cold evening here. Who is your favorite Astros player of the month for this month? Springer, Bregman, Verlander, or Osuna? 4 Astros putting up very good numbers here in the month of April. And who is your favorite? Make sure you go to @AT&T Sportsnet SW and vote. Stay tuned, because later in the ball game we are going to reveal who wins.
Michael Brantley leading off for the Astros against Michael Pineda. They call Michael Pineda Big Mike. They call Michael Brantley Uncle Mike. So it's Big Mike against Uncle Mike here. Start the second inning.
Seems fitting.
Brantley getting those numbers going the last 10 games. He's reaching 20 of his last 21 contests. And last night he had 2 of the 4 hits for the Astros against Jake Odorizzi. Astros ended up with 5 hits on the night. Brantley with a count of 2-0. There's a ball ripped to right field, and Kepler came in and then makes a catch above his head. Had to jump for it. Astros have been hitting some terrible luck early in this game. Today is a Tuesday. It's a Twitter Tuesday, and tonight's theme is baseball memorabilia. What's your favorite Astros or MLB collectible? Signed jersey, autograph, whatever you treasure most. Tweet us your pictures. Bagwell and Biggio autographed jerseys and Cooperstown bats signed in person. Attended both Hall of Fame inductions. Nicely done by Warren.
Those are gorgeous.
Right now, if you're Michael Pineda, you've retired all 4 batters you faced, but he could easily be down in this game 2-0.
Yeah, it's been a laser show, but luckily his defense has shown up and picked him up.
Bregman hit one to the wall in center field that Buxton ran down. Kepler just caught a ball off the bat of Michael Brantley's bat that was scalded, and Ray Adrianza made a great play on Jose Altuve. Brantley hit that at 107. Bregman at 103.6 and Altuve at 102.8. Last night the Astros only had 3 above 100 miles an hour against Odorizzi for 7 innings. So some good signs, but just bad direction so far.
Yeah, the GPS is off. Got to recalibrate that thing.
Correa hits a line drive. That's caught. That one had a little bit of air underneath it. It wasn't scalded, but still, that's a base hit a lot of times. Instead, Scope goes up and gets it for the second out.
What do you got to do to get a hit in this league?
My goodness.
Well, they're testing the Minnesota Twins defense, and their defense has stepped up. That's not just been one guy. It's been several different guys tested. Good job of recognizing that ball wasn't hit very hard and timing the jump by Jonathan Scope.
Now to bring up Josh Reddick. Reddick DHing for the first time as an Astro. He has pinch hit for the designated hitter a few times in the last 2 years, but he has never started as the DH. And Jay likes those numbers you saw there. 337, 5th in the American League coming in, and he's reached in 12 straight games. Down in the count here, 0-2. April 8th of 2016, the last time Reddick was the DH for the A's early on in that 2016 season, and he actually came in to play defense. They forfeited the DH in that game in the 9th inning. So Josh hasn't had a lot of chances to DH, but will tonight against Michael Pineda. Down in the count here, 0-2. Pineda, like Odorizzi and Verlander, pitching against the same team in back-to-back starts. Astros got to Pineda last time in the 5th inning. Down and in, it's 2-2. Now it's a 3-2 count. On the ground, there's a base hit beyond Jonathan Scope's reach. That was definitely not the hardest hit baseball of the night, but Reddick placed it well.
There are hits out there. Tonight's Scouting Report is presented by your Greater Houston Honda dealers. There you see the pitch types and the hits that were given up last time Pineda was out there. He gave up 8 hits to the Houston Astros, and they were in the middle. And middle in if you're a right-handed hitter, and middle away if you're a left-handed hitter. Josh Reddick getting one center cut. Yanks it through that. We called it the 4-hole.
Here's Ledmus Diaz, grounds one towards the shift, and cutting it off is the shortstop who makes the play. Ledmus almost beat it out, but just out at first. Polanco able to throw him out by less than a stride. Hitting the man left on base, still scoreless.
Power powered by Kubota. And Verlander last night. Tough loss that he'll take in that one, but he pitched great. He's continued to pitch great here in his last few starts. He's been excellent. Last night he just allowed the 1 earned run over the 6 innings. If you look at the last 4, 1.33 ERA. He is feeling really great right now. He said, rhythm is good, mechanics are good, so I'm not having to tinker too much. Even AJ said that post-game. He feels like Justin's just pitching right now. And I asked and followed up with Justin on that. And he said, you know, right, when you're in a rhythm, you just try to do the same thing. You try to eat the same food. You try to have the same routine. So he's doing that. But he did credit the Twins, guys. He said that they were fouling a lot of pitches off, good pitches too. So they were battling, and at times I could have gotten frustrated, but I was able to get out of some of that and continue to stick to my game plan and find a way to get them out. And he said, you know, unfortunately 1 run last night felt like 10. So, you know, as a pitcher, you feel like you got to put that on yourself and just pitch a little bit better. I'm not sure what else Justin Verlander can do, though.
No, it was a brilliant performance, and JV continues to pitch really well. That's 4 starts in a row where he's only allowed the 1 run on a solo home run. Just had to find a little more offense than they did last night against Jake Odorizzi. CJ Cron goes down swinging. He's the first strikeout of Gerrit Cole. Julia has found a little warmer climate tonight, because earlier, as we had our cameras on her, it was not an enjoyable warm-up to this ball game.
Well, it looks like it was still raining, too,
Yes.
at the time, right?
No, it's misting down there.
Right
I know
now.
you can't really see it, but yeah, that's damp.
Still dancing, though.
Still at a ballpark. Still happy. Everyone down there, though, says it could be worse. Could be snowing.
It's one way to look at it.
That's what they say here in Minnesota.
Feels like it's around 39, but it could be snowing. There you go. There's Jonathan Scope with a 1-1 count. You did a great name that Astro on Twitter, by the way.
Thank you. A little different twist to it.
Took a shot at Carlos Correa, and you can only see Carlos's eyes, basically. He was all covered up. Ground ball towards Altuve. He is there and puts it away for out number 2. Jonathan Scope grounds out to second. Good to see Gerrit Cole find that strike zone again. And Julie was talking about the frustration level for Justin Verlander. Cole had a little bit of that in the first inning with some foul balls.
Yeah, that was a little annoying. Last night there were 23 foul balls in that game, and through that first inning there were 9 foul balls against Gerrit Cole. We've seen teams adjusting to Gerrit Cole and Justin Verlander, adjusting that velocity up in the zone, laying off it. And when they do go after it, much like you just saw Adrianza right there, they foul it off. They just can't catch up to it, but they can catch up to it enough just to foul it off.
And that swing and miss rate and that whiff percentage for Gerrit Cole is amongst the best, especially with that fastball. It is the best. So we'll see if that continues to play out tonight, but the Twins continue to do a good job putting the ball in play or fouling off pitches. Adrianza goes the other way, sending Michael Brantley to the edge of the warning track. He'll put it away for the final out. Gerrit Cole bounces back with a 1-2-3 second. T-Mobile's connection game news and notes around the league. Yadier Molina is on an active 16-game hitting streak. The best for the Astros right now is Correa's 11 straight. Greg Holland has got off to a hot start for the Diamondbacks. 9 innings with just that 1 run allowed to this point. And Griffin Canning making his debut tonight for the Angels, their top pitching prospect. The Boston Red Sox have won 1 series all year.
Ouch.
Came into the week 3rd lowest in run differential. Only teams behind the Red Sox in that category were the Miami Marlins and Baltimore Orioles. On we go to the 3rd inning. Robinson Chirinos will lead things off. Chirinos coming in batting .273 on the year. Leads all American League catchers in slugging and OPS. .874 on the OPS number and a .515 slug. Also leads all AL catchers in extra base hits with 10, as you see. We've had a couple of rainouts already tonight in the American League. They were rained out in Chicago, Baltimore, and the White Sox. They were also rained out in Kansas City, the Rays and the Royals. But we're playing baseball here. No rain, just a little bit chilly.
Oh, on TV it looks like a perfect evening, except for all the layers that these guys are wearing and playing through. On that foul ball, we're going to check out where the Twins are playing. This is the shift, brought to you by Geico. Minnesota Twins and the new manager Rocco Baldelli really embracing the analytics and shifting quite a bit this season, trying to knock down some of those hits. And early on, you would say it's working. With as hard as the Astros have hit the ball, only one hit to show for it.
This ball popped up. Castro, right near home plate, puts it away in fair territory. Chirinos is the first out of the third inning.
Hey, Pino in the Park is making its return to Minute Maid Park on Friday, May 10th. With an add-on to your ticket to the Astros-Rangers game, fans can enjoy an evening of wine tastings, food pairings, music, and more. To get your add-on ticket today, visit astros.com/Pino.
That'll be the next Friday the Astros play. They don't play this Friday. There's Marisnick taking one inside. He was around the bunt. He got hit by a pitch. A painful way to get to first base. Jake a little grimace on his way down.
I'm not sure where that caught him. Some chirping out of that Minnesota dugout about that hit by pitch. They checked down there to the first base umpire, Chris Siegel. And now Bill Miller's letting them have it inside that dugout. Oh, right in the stomach.
Hopefully he's layered up enough that may have helped cushion the blow a little bit. Jake's on first with one out, and that'll bring up George Springer. George grounded out to second his first time up. George coming into this game was 8 for 19 against Pineda with a couple of home runs, and he's always hit well here at Target Field, batting .351 over his career with 5 home runs. Pineda has shown pretty good command tonight. That slider is such a big pitch for him, and he has the second best slider command according to Stats Inc. This cold night, we'll see if he's impacted at all. Jake was leaning a little bit, but gets back.
I'll tell you what, Pineda, we haven't seen a slide step yet with Jake out there or a base runner on, but when he gets that leg kick involved, Pineda takes a little while to unfold and gives Jake Marisnick plenty of time to get into second base.
Jake has not had a successful steal this year. He does have a big lead. There he goes. Springer swings and misses. That'll be the first stolen base of the year for Jake Marisnick. He's into second base with one away. That was basically no shot for Castro.
All the way around, that was a good jump by Jake, who obviously has pretty good wheels, but he was plenty on his way to getting that stolen base, and Castro couldn't get a handle on it. I guess that was a little bit of a slide step from Pineda.
Jake now 1 for 3 in steals. George down in the count 0-2. Springer crushes one to left field. This ball is off the wall. Fair ball into score. Marisnick. Springer into second. RBI double. Astros take a 1-0 lead. George drives in his 23rd of the season.
Good piece of hitting by George. He's been in swing mode since he showed up here when this game started. But he gets either a split finger or a slider that backed up a little bit at 83 miles an hour. But George gets in on his hands a little bit, but nice enough to keep it fair, allowing him to get that extra base hit, hitting right at the base of the 339 sign here in Minnesota.
So Jake hit by a pitch, a stolen base, scores a run. Astros on the board. Here's Jose Altuve, who was robbed of extra bases by Adrianza his last time up. Altuve takes one down and away for ball one. Jose came into this game with a .248 batting average, which that's the second time in his career he has started a game below .250 after the Astros' first 10 games of the season. The only other time was after his major league debut in 2011 when he went 1 for 5 and started out game 2 with a .200 average. He never is below .250 at this time of the year normally. 9 games into a season is the longest he's been below .250 in any season where he's made the opening day roster.
Just glad Altuve and I finally have something in common.
You have a 5-hit game. He needs to catch you in that one.
It's just a matter of time.
One of these nights we're going to see a big night from Altuve. This one's grounded towards short. Polanco makes the play. That's 2 away.
Yeah, we know he can be explosive and he can rack up hits in a lot of bunches. I'd like to see that happen. Hopefully when he gets out of this weather a little bit.
Altuve now in an 0 for 10 streak as Alex Bregman will bat. Bregman roped one to center field. Sent Byron Buxton back up against the walls. He made the catch on the track. Mentioned last time when we saw Pineda at Minute Maid Park, his velocity is down a little bit from a couple of years ago before the Tommy John surgery. Fastball coming in around 91, sometimes 90. Used to be actually 91, 92 now. Used to be 93, 94. And that whip percentage on the slider not quite where it used to be. There you see the velocity dip from 16 and 17 till this year. He does not have a strikeout tonight, and the Astros have been able to make contact in the beginning of the game. It was just hard contact at people. Now they found a hole with a Jake Marisnick hit batter, and then Springer found one off the left field wall in the corner. They've hit some baseballs hard tonight against Pineda. Reddick had the first hit, finding a hole between first and second.
Kind of makes you wonder if the weather is affecting him at all today, because even with those averages that we just put on the screen, you're right, he's right around 90. A couple of sliders coming in at 83, 85 miles an hour. The Astros do look like they're seeing the ball well enough to get the barrel to it. They just haven't figured out where to place it.
He did hit 93, 94 in that start at Minute Maid Park, so tonight could be less than comfortable out there in these temperatures. That ball's hit high in the air to center field. Bregman got under this one. In fact, it's drifted to the right fielder, Max Kepler, who will put it away. Astros on the board, though, with George's 23rd run batted in.
Blue Shield. Oh, yeah, Derek Bell going deep into the night at the Astrodome. Talking about in April of 1998, where he had 41 hits in the month of April. Finished that April with a .398 batting average. Doing damage to all parts of the field. Rob Ned, a highly uncomfortable AB with the walk-off winner there in the 12th. But before he was Operation Shutdown, he was one of the killer bees.
What a month.
It was outstanding.
1 hits in a month. Gerrit Cole working with a 1-0 lead. Out there on the mound here for the bottom half of the third inning. And Jason Castro fouls one away. See Castro's career numbers against the Houston Astros. That's over 9 games. Jason, third all-time in games caught in Astros history. And Cole ahead 0-2. Bell was with the Astros from 95 through 99. A lot of great memories through those years. Twitter Tuesdays about memorabilia. We're going to check out some of the latest on Twitter as Jason Castro looks at a called third strike. Gerrit Cole picks up his second, and there's one away. Tony Kemp, game-used autographed cleats. Needing a bat in New Jersey to go along with that.
Pretty cool.
A lot of bobbleheads collected.
Brad Ausmus back there in his cute little bodysuit.
Oh, I just saw that. What was that bobblehead?
I think it was a wetsuit. Surfer Brad from the East Coast.
We'll see him in a couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Down in Monterrey, Mexico. Ausmus in his first year as the manager of the Angels. Astros and Angels have the night off Friday, and then we'll play a series on Saturday and Sunday. The Mexico series to wrap up this road trip. The Astros will pretty much double the temperature from one city to the next.
Yeah, I'll go from using 3/4 of my suitcase to 1/4 of it.
This ball popped up out of play. Yeah, the extra days here, 4 days versus 3, and the extra layers needed. It is a heavy Minnesota-dominated packing situation. After an early struggle with his command, Gerrit Cole been better working ahead of hitters, and he gets another strikeout here, getting Byron Buxton. That's back-to-back strikeouts and 3 in the game. Now, that play you mentioned about Correa could loom larger as the game goes along.
Especially if Gerrit Cole's going to go out and make pitches like this. Byron Buxton has been susceptible to the slider in his career, but there's a lot of big league hitters who would have an issue with that slider coming in at 90 and dotting the outside corner.
Here's Max Kepler, who walked his first time up. You know, you mentioned it, he's never faced Minnesota before. And most mounds are similar when you go bullpen mound to game mound, but for whatever reason, Gerrit, whether it was the temperature or just pitching in the stadium for the first time, for whatever reason, he did not have his command early on. And threw 10 of the first 15 out of the zone, was behind Nelson Cruz, walked the first 2 batters. But he has made a nice adjustment as he has retired the last 7 in a row, and now 1-1 on Kepler. That one's upstairs. It's 2-1.
StatCast AI powered by AWS explains the shift. Man, Max Kepler is heavy on the pull side again. That's the last 100 baseballs put in play by Max, less than 200 feet.
There's a strike with the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-2.
How is he even questioning that? That ball caught a large portion of the plate.
The only thing I can think of is because Chirinos was set up outside, and he saw Chirinos have to move, but that was a lot. That's a strike. That's the only thing I can think of is why.
Yeah, but as a hitter, my strike zone isn't moving. Correct. The catcher's moving, but my strike zone isn't moving.
He strikes out the side. Castro, Buxton, and Kepler go down on strikes in the inning. Gerrit Cole has 4 in the game. Season long, download the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or go to AT&TSportsnet.com to stream from your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available to cable accounts with AT&T Sportsnet in their subscription, subject to blackouts and territorial restrictions. 4th inning baseball. Astros leading 1-0. Michael Brantley leads off and takes a pitch from Michael Pineda outside for ball 1. Brantley lined one to Max Kepler his first time up. One of a number of hard hit baseballs early in this game that were either at the Twins or nice defensive plays by the Twins. Now Brantley with a count of 1-1.
Change up from Pineda. We've seen a couple of good ones that had interesting movement on them.
He can throw that changeup as his main secondary pitch along with his slider, but a lot more to lefties. Throws it just infrequently to right-hand hitters as Brantley takes one upstairs for a ball. It's 2-2. There you see the percentages, 11.7 overall, over 22% to left-hand hitters, and about 5% to righties. Ball ripped, but caught by the first baseman, C.J. Crow. Michael Brantley having no luck tonight. He has hit the ball hard twice and has nothing to show for it.
Nothing. You don't have to like it.
Brantley's 2 at bats. He's hit the ball 107, and that last one 100.
Those are baggy specials.
Here's Carlos Correa. Correa's always hit well against Pineda. Lined out his first time up. Carlos coming in .563, a 13-13 slug. 9 for 16 with 3 doubles and 3 home runs against Pineda. And he's riding an 11-game hitting streak. Has that average up to 287. So good combo here for Correa. He also hits well in this stadium. There's a strike. 2-1. Mentioned the Twins coming in leading the Indians by 2.5 games. The Astros come into tonight's play tied for first in the AL West, percentage points ahead of the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are at home tonight against the Cubs. A little quick. Rockets one foul.
That was the don't get jammed swing. Get that barrel out well in front so you don't get it off the label and sting those hands. It was well struck, but incredibly foul.
Hit into a section where nobody was sitting, and the ball bounced back into the lower level.
That really narrows it down, TK.
A lot of people tucked in under the heaters tonight. Right there beyond the left field corner, you see that orange glow. Those are some heaters they have built in here around Target Field.
And they're still beanied and park it up.
This ball hit high in the air to right field. Pretty well struck. Kepler's going to turn around. It's off the wall. Correa is going to get into second with another double against Michael Pineda. Correa continues to hit well against his Twins right-hander. He's a one-out base runner.
Good job going the other way. He's had some issues on that outside corner, but he's got plenty of power. You see Castro set up out there, but that one elevated and allows the larger shortstop Carlos Correa to get the barrel to it. And I agree with you here at Minute Maid. Here at Minnesota, that ball going to right field. Longer it's in the air, it really feels like that right field wall starts to creep in a little bit.
Correa now matching Michael Brantley with a 12-game hitting streak, longest for an Astro this year. Here's Josh Reddick. Reddick takes one up and away for a ball, 1-0.
It's going to be a good visual. See how far he lets that ball travel, catching it deep. When he gets the contact, it'll probably, you can see it right on the plate, because out in front of the plate, you'll see hitters make contact right at where that front foot is. But when you're going the other way, you'll see it just behind that front foot, so you can drive it the other way and keep it fair. Baggy's already texted me about the exit velocity.
Reddick gets into one towards center, but that's going to be Buxton, who really covers some ground, getting over there quickly for out number 2. Buxton just kind of glides out there for the second out.
Yeah, he makes it look easy in center field.
Initially, that ball looked like it had a chance to get to the gap, but had a little tail on it back to the center fielder, plus Buxton's speed. Here's Aledmus Diaz, who grounded out his first time up. What did Baggy say? Hang with him on the 100-mile-an-hour line drive outs?
Every time.
Well, the month turning to May, so we'll have our Saturday scheduled with Baggy coming up sometime in the next few weeks. There's a ground ball towards short, slowly hit. Polanco comes up with it, throws on the run, and not being able to hold it at first is C.J. Cron. It looked like that would have been an out if Cron held on to the baseball. But Diaz reaches with 2 away.
A little bit of a fumble on the exchange, and you're right, that was in C.J. Cron's glove. Just maybe some of that last minute sink with Polanco running in. Did they give that one to C.J. Cron or to Polanco?
I have not heard. Here's Robinson Chirinos. I would give it to Cron.
I agree. After seeing that last replay, I totally agree. Yep.
You have confirmation?
I do. C.J. Cron. See if the Astros can take advantage of this. Chirinos with another opportunity with Carlos Correa in scoring position.
Ball down, 2-0. When the Astros faced Pineda at Minute Maid Park, they scored a run in the third like they did tonight. And then they really got to Pineda in that 5th inning. Final batter he faced was Carlos Correa. Allowed a double to Correa in the 6th inning after the Astros scored 3 more in the 5th. 2-0 pitch is popped out of play. It's 2-1. Chirinos popped one straight up his first time up, caught by the opposing catcher Jason Castro. A little bit low, it's 3-1.
That was a bit of a cross-up. This is not how you frame baseballs. A self-defense by Jason Castro.
He did bring it up.
Thankfully. New technique.
That one won't get many strikes called, but good for Jason to adjust as that pitch was coming home. Now 3-1. Chirinos can get something to drive here. Holds up. No swing. Ball 4. Bases will be loaded. Correa, who doubled, will go over to third. Diaz, who reached on the arrow, will be over at second.
Jake Marisnick with an opportunity, but he kind of created that first run for the Houston Astros, taking the hit by pitch off the boiler and then getting to first base and stealing second base. And of course, you need a big hit to drive him in it when he's in scoring position, and George delivered that. But Jake Marisnick being creative on getting on base and advancing to scoring position. Now he's got an opportunity to help the Astros out with a big hit right here with the bases juiced.
A little meeting at the mound. Pitching coach Wes Johnson and the infield coming in to talk to Pineda. This turned into be a long inning for Pineda. Astros helped out by that error by C.J. Cron. What would have been final out of the inning? Jake 2 for 5 against Pineda in his career. Takes a pitch for a strike. Marisnick playing back-to-back games. This is Jake's 12th start of the year, 6 of those 12 have been when Justin Verlander starts. AJ likes the ability for Marisnick with a fly ball pitcher to go and get him in the outfield. Getting a start tonight with Gerrit Cole on the mound. And a little check swing. He's down to the count 0-2. Correa doubled with 1 out. Ledmus Diaz reached on an error with 2 outs. And Chirinos walked.
Good job of fighting that pitch off, but he may have earned himself another slider. See if Pineda can keep it on that outside corner, or if he makes a mistake and allows Jake to get it. Over with the heater again.
Pineda, no strikeouts tonight. Mentioned that 3-year slider whip percentage, 46 2017, 2016 40 in 2017, and just 29.6% this year. But that is his strikeout pitch when he's going well. Doesn't get a chase there. It's 1-2. Fastballs in, sliders away. Yeah.
That seems to be the approach to Jake Marisnick from Michael Pineda. Cold night like this, is tough to get to that 92 on the inside corner. But that is definitely the sequence and the location of those 2 pitches. Just a matter of when he's going to go to those pitches in those spots. Because this is where, if you're a runner at second base and you can relay location to the hitter, you know exactly what's coming. Good job by Castro setting up late.
And he gets the swing and a miss on the slider to end the inning. First strikeout for Pineda. Astros leave the bases loaded.
The best in Texas power pitcher by your local Ford dealers, Gerrit Cole. In April of 2018, set the franchise record with 61 strikeouts in the month of April. Doing a great job in that first season with the Houston Astros, looking very good in that uni. Pumping heaters, 95 to 100 miles an hour. That electric slider he introduced us to, and a lot of hitters on the opposing teams led to those strikeouts. He's doing a very good job racking up strikeouts before May 1st again this season in 2019.
Got a chance to beat his own American League record he set last year with 61 of them last year. He's got 58 now, including all 3 last inning. Starts off Jorge Polanco with a pitch upstairs for ball 1. Polanco walked his first time up, and since then Gerrit Cole's been rolling along. He got a double play to the next batter, Nelson Cruz, at 115 miles, 0.2 off the bat. And the rest of the way he's been kind of rolling with 4 strikeouts in the next 7 hitters. One and 1 to count to Polanco. 1-2. Garrett change it up on him there. Give him a change up for a swinging strike. Stays 1-2.
It's a pretty good hack on a 2-strike fastball from Polanco.
Garrett's 3 thrown 4 changeups tonight and had 2 swinging strikes on them, 2 taken for balls.
Was it a couple of years ago that Lance McCullers had issues on the road, getting loose for a game, coming in, sitting down, and then having to go back out? Not sure if you were here for that, but I know that there was some issues with Lance McCullers on the road. He would start games on the road, but he'd be in the bullpen, have to come in, watch his team hit, and then go back out on the mound. And occasionally he would have issues with command and things of that nature. And it kind of makes me wonder, in this situation right here with Gerrit Cole getting loose in the cold weather and coming into the dugout, sitting and watching his team while he kind of cools off a little bit, if that had any effect on the first inning for him in the cold weather situation. Because not typically is it Gerrit Cole in these games worried about home or road, but here on a cold weather day, maybe that was the issue, because he seems pretty loose right now.
Yeah, he has looked good since those first 2 batters. Do you remember that McCullers situation, Julie?
I do remember that. I know, not so much for the weather, as Lance was trying to figure out a way for him, like you said, to get a good feel of that curveball and to come out ready to go, ready and hot. And so for him, he actually had conversations with Brent Strom, the pitching coach, about whether he should just stay out there as the game started and then come out from the bullpen straight to the mound. That was even part of the conversation, just finding a way to feel good the second that they step on the mound. I'm not sure if weather had anything to do with that, but I can imagine it's pretty tough to stay warm. There's not a lot of warm places around here.
Yeah, you can sit in front of the heater all you want. Oh, that guy just lost his lunch. But I would imagine it's got to be a real issue, because you're sitting at the end of the dugout, you're next to the heater, you're warm, you run out there, and immediately it's an ice box, and you've got to get a feel for the baseball. You've got to get that arm ramped up and going again.
The last time we saw a starting pitcher go from the bullpen to the mound to start a game was last year in Seattle, game 126. Brad Peacock, who was used to being in the bullpen, but got a spot start as the opener, came in from out of the bullpen as Cole strikes out his 4th in a row.
We've got a pitch-by-pitch right here against Buxton. Started him with a couple of sliders, gets a swing and miss, and then pumps the heater for the foul ball, and then immediately down and away. But Kepler was an interesting AB with a couple of changeups earlier, like TK was talking about, the elevated fastball before getting the called strike, then put him away with a nasty hammer. Some interesting sequences for Gerrit Cole to go out there and get the strikeouts.
Nelson Cruz, a big swing, fouls one back. Cole now striking out 4 in a row in 5 of the last 7. Approaching his American League record. Most strikeouts prior to May 1. He's now at 59, 2 shy of last year's mark. And he's ahead of Cruz here 0-2. Thinking back to that Peacock start, maybe not only did he feel more comfortable coming out of the bullpen, maybe just too nice. He didn't want to take somebody's seat in the dugout. In that first inning.
He's like, no, I've been doing this all year. I'll just do it out of the yeah.
I'll just stay out there.
It's not about me. I don't want to ruin the rhythm for everybody else.
He tried to hold up, but he goes around. That's 5 in a row for Gerrit Cole. Coltrane is punching some tickets here. That's 6 in the game.
Pitch the bottom portion of the zone. That barrel got well out ahead of the hands of Nelson Cruz.
Now here's Eddie Rosario. Remember, this is a team that doesn't strike out much. Cole with 5 straight strikeouts, and he gets a high fly ball off the bat of Rosario. It'll be Michael Brantley who comes in and makes the play for the final out. Cole, after 2 initial walks, has retired everybody else.
presented by Toyota. Looking at George Springer, who has driven in the run for the Astros today, but his April, pretty good. He's scored 18 runs, driven in 19. He's talked a lot about being consistent, and he's off to a really great start. We've seen the homers from him as well. He just hit a bomb off Trevor Bauer a couple days ago that felt pretty good for him. He's averaging the highest exit velocity on the team right now, and I just mentioned consistency. I think that's what it comes down to with George. I know, Blummer, you've talked a lot about his swing and what some of the changes and adjustments he's made, not huge ones.
Crushes one to left. This ball is gone. Home run, George Springer.
Didn't
Well
even let me
played,
finish
Julia.
my story.
Ah, she hit it out too quick.
What was that about exit velocity?
Yeah, overrated, right?
George's 9th home run of the year gives the Astros a 2-0 lead. Hard hit rate and exit velocity at an all-time career high for George, and that one was crushed, Julia.
Yeah, you can keep going. Keep saying nice things.
Well, I wanted you to talk a little bit more about the swing, too, and he was showing it off right there for us.
No, he really was. He gets that hug at the end of the dugout. Hitting Coach Alex Cintron in that shot, too. You can see the smile on his face working with George this season, and that's probably one of the guys that's helped him out a little bit. Him and Snitker, both hitting coaches for the Houston Astros, but it was a little bit of change in that hand position. The leg kick, he squared off his stance a little bit towards the pitcher. But that swing is under control and still powerful.
George is someone, too, that's looking to have a good start to the year. He's not always one that starts out swinging it hot, so that was something he wanted to do. The consistency is the word he just keeps saying over and over and over. So he's obviously in there just trying to work on doing the same thing every day.
Altuve hits one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. That's going to get past Rosario and head all the way to the track. Altuve's going to hold up at second. Thought about 3 for a moment. Altuve, who got robbed his first time up, now gets one past Adrianza for a double.
Uh-oh. A little bit different look for us.
It's crowded up here. Hey!
You
It's great.
Get the headphones on.
It's warm up here.
They serve as earmuffs and you can talk into them.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I love it.
You got to get used to pushing the buttons on the little box here.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. It's fun. Lots of gadgets up here.
Yeah.
I just like that they're hitting. Let's
too.
go.
Home run and a double. And here's Alex Bregman. This is the inning where they got to Pineda last time. They scored 3 of their 4 runs against them in the 5th inning. Pineda lasted 5 1/3 innings in that game as Bregman fouls one. Alex does not feel great on a cold night after fouling that one off his front leg.
Not at all. Trainers always put themselves in some tough spots. They want to come out and check on a guy, but right there probably wasn't a very kind conversation between the two. I've had a couple of those in my career where I'm like, just get away from me. Just let me fight through this. It hurts like crazy.
Bregman is lined out deep to center field and also flied out to right. Takes a pitch for a ball, 1-1.
What do you think Altuve's thinking out there on second? He's got to feel
mucho
good.
frio.
Well, he's got to feel good, too. This is a guy that we've watched struggle here lately, and not used to seeing lulls, as AJ put it, with Jose Altuve, but all it takes is one hit sometimes for him to get going.
That snaps an 0 for 10, and he was 3 for 24 on the homestand, so he needed that one.
We've also seen him go 10 for 10.
Around the Cleveland Indians road trip last year, Altuve had 10 straight hits at Progressive Field.
Unbelievable. When you have 10 straight hits and don't have a 5-hit game.
I witnessed that, and I still can't believe that happened.
A lot of them were loud hits too, gappers and right center and left center. But yeah, he must feel amazing after that double, especially when he was robbed his first time up. You're not used to seeing that average where it is now. Even with that hit, he's sitting at 250. Astros have done a good job putting some pitches on Pineda the last couple of innings. He's a guy that generally has not thrown high quantity of pitches in his starts this year, 75.4 per start. And his high mark is 96 against the Tigers at home 3 starts ago. First start he was limited. First start of the year, cold temperatures. He went 55 pitches in that one. 2-2. Springer has knocked in both runs tonight. RBIs 23 and 24 on the year. Mentioning his exit velocity and his hard hit rate, it is not only the best of his career, it is by far the best of any season he's had. Obviously, we're still early, less than 20% into the season, but he's off to a great start. This ball is hit well, but pulled by Bregman. Stays 2-2. The JMI is no longer in play tonight as we have Julie up in the booth with us.
It's still a little chilly up here.
Gosh,
It's bad.
we tried everything.
But it is. Next door, they've got their windows open.
Yeah, they're crazy over there.
Minnesota broadcasters go open windows, and they do not look comfortable. Swing and a miss. Bregman goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Pineda, 1 out in the 5th.
George Springer sees the ball well off Pineda. That's a slider or a changeup that just ends up hanging up. It might have been that change, but it was on a tee for George, who did a great job again of keeping that ball fair. Means he's pulling the hands in nicely.
Second hit for George today, and that's coming after a complete, well, it wasn't a complete day off. He didn't get enough bat yesterday. But after a day off, not that he really needed one when it comes to what he was doing at the plate, but just physically trying to give him all the rest he can get. But I'm sure he's feeling fresh today.
Michael Brantley deserves something good to happen in this AB. He has hit the ball very hard twice, 107 and 100, and has nothing but 2 lineouts to show for it. Altuve on second base after the double with 1 out. You were saying yesterday during our broadcast, Julie, that Springer is pretty entertaining on his days off.
He's loud in there. He likes to root for his teammates. Especially Michael Brantley. It's amazing how tight those two are. And they haven't, I mean, this is, you know, obviously the first year that they've been teammates, but they've bonded very quickly.
Brantley hardly ever shows any emotion. And then George is always showing emotion or talking or doing something. And they're kind of opposites in that respect, right?
They are. Brantley recently hit that home run at Minute Maid Park, and George tried to put sunflower seeds on, mess with them just like they all do each other in the dugout. Whether it's gum, seeds, high fives, hugs. Brantley wasn't having it. He looked at him like he was his little brother. Like, you better stop.
Brantley down to the count 0-2. Back through the middle, off of Pineda. Who wants it? It's going to be right in between everybody, and Brantley's going to be saved. So there you go. Brantley needed a break, and he found one on a ball off the pitcher that carried him between first and second.
It's a pretty impressive ricochet.
Pineda knows how Bregman feels.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
George has something to say about that one. You know, he's down there in the dugout saying something
About that hit?
to Uncle Mike.
Uncle Uncle Mike getting a hit against Big Mike, and Big Mike seems like he's okay.
Uncle Mike just bruised Big Mike's foot, while George Springer just bruised his ego with that bullet down the line.
Those Japanese eye drops.
That's like me going to the gym right there. Eye wash.
Here's Carlos Correa. Correa doubled off the wall his last time up. He continues to have great numbers against Pineda. We're finally starting to see the Twins bullpen stirring a little bit, as Pineda's at 81 pitches. Many of those coming the last 2 innings. Correa lining out to second base the first time up. Kind of a soft line drive and then doubling off the wall and right. When you have numbers like Correa against Pineda, both guys know it too. It's a lot of damage.
It's one thing to know when a guy's getting a lot of hits, but it's also, they know for sure when those guys are doing damage against you.
4 doubles, 3 home runs, and 18 career at bats. He's 10 for 18. Matt McGill warming up for the Twins. Just started his throwing process. Infield is in here with 1 out. Correa takes a strike. Astros with 3 hits in this inning, 6 in the game. Altuve doubled, Brantley an infield hit. There goes Brantley. The pitch is swung on and skied well to center field. Back goes Buxton. He's near the wall. Reaches up and makes the catch in front of the wall. Altuve will tag and score. Correa hit that ball almost 400 feet. Buxton ran it down. The Astros score a run. It's 3-0.
Good AB by Carlos. Almost got it up there off that right center field wall, but stayed on that pitch and drove it the other way. We're starting to see Carlos drive the ball the other way. Making some adjustments to how pitchers are pitching to him, getting on that outside corner where we've seen him have some issues. It's always nice to push that run across. I think he did that with all upper body too.
Did look that way, didn't it?
Lower half was there. It gave him a solid foundation, but he definitely muscled that with the upper body out the other way.
Correa with RBI number 16 on the year. Here's Josh Reddick.
Gets the foot down, but you can see the bottom half just kind of stops right here as he follows through with that swing. Guys are strong.
That's a nice play by Buxton to run that down. That could have been a double. Reddick has a single and a soft line drive into center field his last time up. A pitch out and Brantley not going anywhere. Well, for the first time in Josh Reddick's Astros career, Julie gets the DH. He's usually a guy that likes to give AJ a hard time about who he DHs, and tonight he's the guy.
He was hearing about it too in the clubhouse before the game. They weren't referring to him by his name. They were calling him DH. Hey, DH.
Because he's usually the guy that needles the DH.
And he's usually giving everyone else a hard time for DHing.
So he had to wear it.
He did a little bit today.
And he's the one that's laughing because while they're on defense, he's up inside probably staying warm.
AJ gave him a nice night to DH for the first time.
Yeah.
There goes Brantley, and the pitch is grounded towards the shortstop spot. An adjustment there for Polanco, and he bobbles it. Brantley looked around, nobody going after the baseball, and he takes third. Polanco had to adjust his route after trying to cover second, and he never was comfortable on that little slow ground ball.
It'll be interesting to see that on replay. He just, from where we were watching, it looked like he just whiffed on it, but that ball moving pretty good. You know the infield's damp. He just whiffed. Might have had a little bit of extra English on that one. Just be a better look at it.
Brantley says, hey, nobody's there.
And you know what? He got the glove down too late.
We're going to give Josh a hit on that.
Yeah.
Way to go, DH. Ledmus Diaz grounds one to short. This one will be flipped to second, and that'll do it for the Astros. But they scored 2 runs in the inning on 4 hits, including this.
Doesn't feel like spring, but that does.
On AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's $4.99 spicy chicken strips combo only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. George Springer, 2 of the 3 runs batted in for the Astros, including a solo home run. As we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, C.J. Cron will lead off against Gerrit Cole, who has retired the last 11 he has faced and delivers a strike. Start the bottom half of the 5th inning. Cron was the first strikeout victim for Cole to lead off the 2nd. Gerrit now has struck out 6 of the last 9. And he's 1 away from matching his AL record set last season with 61 strikeouts before May 1st. He's ahead 0-2. Swing and a miss. Quick work for Gerrit Cole of C.J. Cron. 7 strikeouts in the game, 61 before May 1st in back-to-back seasons.
That was an uncomfortable AB. Some of the numbers on Gerrit Cole, the .212 batting average against, very good. A very high strikeout percentage at 36%. But the numbers on the bottom, the 4.71 ERA is the one that everybody looks to. But if you go to the underlying numbers and really break it down, his FIP at 3.29 and his xFIP gets actually a little bit lower. We're going to try and explain that xFIP as this ball is lifted to center field. But those peripherals give you an idea that the numbers are actually better for Gerrit Cole than what you see on that stat sheet. There's that xFIP explanation calculated the same way as FIP, except it replaces a pitcher's home run total with the estimate of how many home runs they should have allowed given the number of fly balls they've surrendered. And a lot of that will take into some of the distance on those fly balls and maybe counting against Gerrit Cole, such like we saw at home at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, I remember a couple of the home runs he allowed against Cleveland. They were front row homers.
Literally, yeah.
And Cole even said that. I felt a little bit unlucky at times, and that's kind of how his season has gone. And there were some starts in there that got out of hand. I remember one against the Texas Rangers not that long ago, and he said he's felt better in his last couple of starts, but there have been times this season where he just feels unlucky. The ball bouncing the wrong way, and we're taking a look at some of those home runs. Home run in 1 of 30 ballparks right there.
It just happened to be the one they were playing in at that time.
That was Jake Bauers going the opposite way, and Leonis Martin barely clearing the wall and right. Those were the 2 solo shots allowed to the Indians.
This is a guy that's super critical, too, of himself, and he wants to be perfect. And we talk a lot about Justin Verlander being that way, and Gerrit Cole is exactly like that. So, I mean, his goal is obviously to just give his team a chance to win every game. And he says, I've done that for the most part, but it almost feels like some of these nights need to be even more perfect or be closer to perfect because that's the standard he holds himself up to. And think about what he did last year. I mean, now he's set that bar for himself and wants to have that same type of season year after year.
Back to those numbers on Gerrit Cole, and that xFIP is the one we're talking about over on the right-hand side at 2.58. And that's what these guys will do. They'll start digging on numbers. We heard Lance McCullers bring up the FIP numbers a couple of times on a rough start he had where you're looking for anything positive, and that's definitely a positive for Gerrit Cole that shows you that he is pitching extremely well despite some of the results.
Cole, always very well thought out. Gives great answers in post-game interviews. You guys do.
I think with those numbers too, when they see them, that's, you know, that's telling them they don't have to overcorrect. They don't have to do too much to try to fix anything because it doesn't really need to be fixed. You know, you can make your adjustments as pitchers do constantly. They're trying to work on something or mechanic, whatever it may be, a grip. I mean, that's going to happen. But Cole made that great point. Like, I'm just trying not to do too much to fix something that isn't really need to be fixed or doesn't really need to be fixed.
Well, that's something I've talked to when guys like Michael Brantley's day-to-day, his first two ABs hitting rockets all over the place. Guys are making plays against him, and your first instinct is, how do I get hits? And you don't necessarily have to tweak your swing or tweak your delivery to go out there and be successful. It's just guys are making plays on you. You just continue to grind with what you've got. Because I felt like sometimes if you did make that adjustment, it led to some other problems that you had to correct later on.
Coming into the time Gerrit Cole became an Astro, Roger Clemens had the American League record for most strikeouts going into May 1st. That was set back in 1988 when he struck out 60 before May 1. Gerrit set the mark last year and then matched it again earlier this inning. That's walk number 3 by Gerrit Cole. He's allowed a 2-out base runner here in the fifth.
We're going to take a look at TD Ameritrade's The Right Call. These are a couple of starter numbers so far in this season. Which pitcher are you going to take? You're going to take the high ERA, high strikeout guy? Or are you going to take the low ERA, reasonable strikeout guy, but a lot of walks? Stay tuned. We'll tell you who they are later.
That Cole walk snapped a string of 13 in a row set down since his last walk to Polanco, second batter of the game. In Gerrit's 7 starts this year, he's either walked 0 or 3.
Yep.
Nothing in between. That's his 5th start with 3 walks. He's also had 2 where he didn't walk anybody. Jason Castro struck out looking his first time up. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1.
We'll take that.
First time ever for Cole facing Minnesota. 29th team of the 30 he has faced. And the former Pirate hasn't faced Pittsburgh as he hits the head of the count 1-2. Cole has struck out everybody in this lineup with the exception of Eddie Rosario and Jonathan Scope. He got Castro looking his first time up. Cole sitting at 77 pitches right now. And Castro fouls another away. 99 with that last fastball.
Just getting loose here in the 5th inning. We sped him up because that pitch before was a changeup off the outside corner. You got Castro to chase, and then he fouls off the 99. I would imagine you might see either another changeup or that power slider down and in.
Popped up on the infield. Gerrit Cole's coming over. He's called off by Robinson Chirinos, who makes the play, and Gerrit pats him on the back after that catch.
Franchise history. There's a lot of thunder in that bat from Morgan Ensberg. Had a big year in 05. Tried to back it up in 06, but Lance Berkman doing damage early on to start that season.
Only 2 Astros to have a slugging percentage 700 or higher in the month of April. Astros fans bundled up. It's a cold night here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's why we have a 3-person booth. Julie Morales joining us up here as we head to the 6th inning.
You guys are so kind.
We've always got room, especially on nights like this.
Astros fans are usually very kind to you, right? They will bring you stuff to stay warm.
Yeah, blankets, hot chocolate. They're the best fans ever.
They really seek you out. They know how cold. The JMI's become a thing.
I know. I should be down there toughing it out, shouldn't I?
No.
Well, it was raining earlier. And this is a crazy road trip.
Blummer and I were talking about that earlier.
If the three of us can get through the next, this city in Monterrey, Mexico, without catching a cold, would be a miracle. How about those climates?
Yeah, that's one extreme to the next. Good 70-degree change.
Yeah, the percentage of space in the suitcase is definitely heavy Minneapolis versus.
Oh, man.
Oh, for sure.
Looking forward to the Mexico series. Not just to warm up, but that's going to be cool.
No, I'm absolutely looking forward to. I love getting down into Mexico, and the weather is going to be outstanding compared to what we're in right now.
Chirinos walked and popped up in this game and stays alive with a 1-2 count. Here's our upcoming schedule, including the rest of this series against the Twins. Night game tomorrow, half hour later, and then a day game on Thursday, then off to Monterey.
Enjoy that off day, though.
A rare Friday off day.
We'll get another one of those for a bit.
Until Boston on the next road trip. There's a line drive, base hit for Robbie Chirinos. Astros now with 8 hits against Pineda. Pineda is nearing his high pitch count of the season. He's 2 pitches away from that. Twitter Tuesday. Our theme tonight is memorabilia. Signed Nolan Ryan jersey.
That's a good one.
In the rainbow jersey.
Ooh.
Might have Robin Ventura's autograph on there. Bo signed it. What if Nolan Ryan signed your ball and put his entire resume on there?
That was a cool signature combo.
That would be a lengthy.
You had Roger Clemens 7 Cy and Nolan Ryan 7 no-no.
Unreal.
On the same baseball. That was cool.
Keep that in a safe place.
Here's Jake, who took a strike. Jake was hit by a pitch and scored the game's first run. Also struck out. Down to the count here, 0-2.
Well, I have a question for you. With a couple of runs for the Astros in that last inning, and then being able to extend that inning and get things going, what can it do for these guys who have been struggling offensively? And we talked about the conditions, being tougher in offense. Just being able to kind of string something together like that.
Jake goes deep to left field. This ball's got a chance, and that is gone.
It gives you hope, is what it gives you.
Jake Marisnick, his second home run of the season. The Astros now lead 5-0.
I didn't need you, Blummer. Jake answered my question. Jake D.
Khakis.
That'll be the last batter Michael Pineda faces. His season high 98 pitches. Rocco Baldelli comes out to get the ball from him. Astros lead 5-0. Pineda's night is over, and we'll have the new pitcher when we come back. The Golf Club of Houston, October 7th through the 13th. Proceeds from this year's tournament benefit the Astros Foundation. To purchase daily admission, week-long, or premium ticket packages, visit HoustonOpenGolf.com.
There's that home run swing. Nothing like a hanging fastball on the inside corner for Jake at 89 miles an hour. He was getting beat up with that pitch earlier in this ball game, and he decided to get the head out on this one and put it in those left field bleachers. Jake from Wright Farm.
Almost the exact same situation for Pineda in his last start against the Astros. Knocked out after 2 batters into the 6th inning. And Matt McGill takes over on the mound for the Twins, now facing George Springer.
McGill's numbers. Lack of second appearance this season. 40 games in 2018. He allowed 11 home runs.
McGill just activated off the IL, the injured list. He had right shoulder tendonitis. Made 5 appearances for AAA Rochester in his rehab assignment. And Miguel Sano starting a rehab assignment today. They're hoping to get him back in short time. As McGill misses inside to Springer, it's 1-2. Dodgers, Reds, and last year the Twins. That's who McGill has pitched for in his career. And he gets Springer swinging at the breaking ball. McGill strikes out the first batter he faces.
Shutterbox spotlight falls on Jose Altuve. Some of the swing percentages in 2017 in comparison to 2019. He is swinging less, chasing less, making less contact, and making less contact outside the zone. Like to see him get things going a little bit, maybe contributing to some of the issues, but again, at the same time, he's still getting on base via the walk pretty good.
The pitcher gets called off by C.J. Cron, who puts it away. Altuve pops up for out number 2.
Well, you were talking about the walks, and I know his manager was talking about how he likes to see that from Altuve, but he also, at the same time, he's seen a little bit of the over-swinging Altuve, the anxious Altuve. Not that he ever panics, but he does get a little anxious when he's not getting his hits. And so, to see the double earlier is obviously a great sign. Just to see the ball fall in the grass, that can be so huge for a hitter, especially a guy like Altuve who needs to get his hits in order to feel right.
Bregman drives one to left field. This is gone. Alex Bregman hits a solo home run. 3rd home run in the last 2 innings for the Astros. Springer, Marisnick, and now Alex Bregman. And
Uncle
Len caught it out there. Of course he did. It's Julia's time in the booth.
Is there any other fan?
No way.
In the stadium?
Just got that.
Ribs are feeling better.
Kidding me?
Can't shake this guy.
Julia, I sense a pattern here. You start a story, Astros hit a home run.
They're trying to get me to stop talking. Something
remarkable. Right before the Springer home run, right before the Jake home run, right before the Bregman home run. Here's Michael Brantley. Alex hits his 5th home run of the year.
Good for Alex too, though. Who's if you look at his numbers closely, he's hitting, he's getting on base, and he looks like he's swinging it all right. But if you ask him, he's not. And he even called himself the softest 300 hitter a couple of weeks ago. And so he knew something wasn't right. A lot of people talking about him and how he was kind of getting off to a better start and starting to look better at the plate. But he just knew something was right. He didn't like the fact that he wasn't hitting homers at the time. But see a couple of homers here lately. Hopefully he's on the right track to get something going, maybe get heated up here.
I'm not sure we saw the stare because we have the inside camera position.
That's
for
right.
This.
We're on
do
the
you
wrong
have to,
side.
you have to like motion to him where?
I actually had to tell him last year which side to look at.
George got it right on his home run.
That ball hit pretty well to the left, and this ball is off the wall. Michael Brantley thought about stopping at first. He's going to try for second, and he is in with a late slide. Nicely done by Brantley as he gets into second base with 2 outs.
Good old-fashioned ambush by Alex Bregman right there. Even on these cold nights, you can get a Brexit.
Goodness. That's unbelievable.
The home run or the catch?
He's always in the right place at the right time.
Here's Carlos Correa. It is quite remarkable how often he gets on TV. Yes, Correa takes a strike. It's our buddy Wen, who travels around, watches Astros baseball on the coldest night possible for the 2019 season. Don't even know he's in town, and he catches a Bregman home run. How does that happen?
When I first saw it, I thought we were being pranked or something.
Like they dropped in some mileage. 0-2 the count to Correa. Carlos a sac fly and double, both hit the other way. He's also lined out to second. After 2 outs, McGill getting hit around a little bit, a home run and then a double off the wall. Bregman and Jake enjoy their round trippers this inning.
Good to see him smiling down in there.
Need to see it a little more consistently.
9-6 upstairs.
It's a happy group, but they have been frustrated with not being able to drive in the runs that they think they should be. I mean, what are we at? 6 runs tonight. They haven't put up that many in at least 5 games or so. And this is a team that knows they're really good offensively, and they should be putting that many runs up every night. They don't care who they're facing.
There's a ball hit well, and that's a base hit and an RBI. Brantley coming around to score. Correa drives in another run, his second straight run-producing plate appearance, and the Astros now lead 7-0. Good job by Brantley to get to second to allow Correa to drive him in.
Always with 2 outs, if you're able to hit yourself into scoring position with 2 outs, it gives the next guy behind you an opportunity. And Correa with another barreled up baseball from a Houston Astro in this inning. The Astros continue to pile on with 4 in the 6th.
Astros up to a dozen hits in this game. Here's Josh Reddick. You know you're going to be asked never to leave the booth, Julie, with this offensive outburst.
Oh, my goodness. It's comfy up here.
Did we finish off those donuts last night?
No, I think the radio guys did.
Oh, good. I did bring them in. I forgot.
They're forgettable.
By the way, just for the record, we're not the only ones with the booth closed tonight.
No, all the smart guys have them closed.
Astros radio closing their booth to the elements. Astros TV doing the same.
Does Justin Morneau have one?
He's got those batting gloves I was talking about.
Oh, those are the ones?
Look warm.
No, they're awesome. Yeah, they have that wetsuit neoprene material on the back of the hand.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we would look like if we were broadcasting.
No, it wouldn't. You'd be by yourself. I'm out.
I would have a ski cap on. I think their radio guy, Corey Provis, has a ski cap on. It is cold tonight. And that's why we are broadcasting with the windows closed and Julia's with us. That's funny. Those were the batting gloves we were talking about earlier.
Yep. Yeah, he's got them on. Smart ball player.
Astros with 9 hits in the last 2 innings. 5 hits this inning, and Reddick drives one to right center field, but this ball's going to hang up. Buxton gets under it, and the Astros inning comes to an end.
Join the booth, join the dugout. Jake from Rake Farm paying out with that big home run. When you get that home run, you get your handshake on. 7-0 Astros.
Alex Bregman home run parade last inning. He has hit the Astros' 3rd home run of the evening. It's now a 7-0 game, as Gerrit Cole had a long wait in between the 5th and 6th innings as he delivers inside to the number 9 hitter Byron Buxton for ball 1. It'll be Buxton in the top of the order for the Twins. Cole's allowed 3 walks tonight. He has struck out 7. Fly ball to center field, playable for Jake Marisnick. Buxton now 0 for 2 as he's retired for the first out of the 6th inning.
Earlier we showed you a comparison. Who would you take on our TD Ameritrade? The right call. Time now to reveal. There you go. A couple of UCLA Bruin products. Putting up some good numbers. Wonder how many people would change their pick now that they see the pictures.
And the XFIP that we described earlier.
XFIP ain't easy.
back to the top of the order as Gerrit will face Max Kepler for the third time. Gerrit sitting at 82 pitches.
A bit of a different situation for Cole, too, facing Bauer, who was so good that night. Pitchers feel that. They know what's going on the other side. Now with a 7-0 lead here.
I think Verlander definitely noticed Jake Odorizzi last night.
He did. Especially when the game is moving fast like that. Not even really getting a chance to sit down or catch your breath before you're out on the mound again.
Yeah, the offense was giving Justin Verlander no time to relax.
Ball hooked foul. It's 1-2. Kepler had a big series over the weekend against Baltimore. He's hit a dozen home runs in that 3-game series, 4 of them by Kepler. This ball driven to right field. George Springer back, and this ball is off the wall. Twins have their first hit of the night. It's a double by Max Kepler with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Changeup on the outside edge, and Kepler got around it and yanked it into the right field corner. Got it pretty good on a chilly evening.
I don't think many people would have guessed that Gerrit Cole, after walking the first 2 batters of this game and falling behind Nelson Cruz, was going to go all the way to the 6th inning without allowing a hit. And it was a strike to Jorge Polanco. Polanco walked and also struck out looking. Polanco leading the team in hitting, coming in with a .327 mark. He's good for 9th in the AL. Swing and a miss. Polanco is strikeout victim number 8. Gerrit Cole has just set the new record for most strikeouts before May 1st. He had the American League record last year at 61, and now he has beat his own mark with 62 this year.
It's a lot of strikeouts before May 1st to start the season.
Mark lasted, as we mentioned earlier, from the time Roger Clemens did it in 1988. Lasted 30 years until Gerrit Cole broke it last year, and now he breaks his own record a year later. Cruz tried to hold up, and he does. It's 1-1.
Collecting these strikeouts against some good teams the Astros have faced to start the season, too, if you look back at everyone that Cole has faced this year. Good offensive clubs, including this one now twice that we've seen, but
These guys don't strike out.
exactly.
That one's off the top of Torino's glove and will allow Kepler to get to third. Be a wild pitch charging Gerrit Cole. There's a strike, 2-2. Cole's faced Texas twice, the Yankees, Seattle.
It's a red-hot Seattle
Yeah,
at that time.
still the team with the most runs in the American League. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Cole now with 9 strikeouts. A one-hitter through 6 innings. Astros lead 7-0. Triple threat, we take you in our leagues where Yordan Alvarez continues to have a huge season, a 1293 OPS, 11 home runs already. Seth Beer at Fayetteville off to a hot start, and Abraham Toro, who we saw in spring training as well, doing his thing at Corpus Christi.
11 home runs. They started later than us, too.
PS is almost 1,300.
He has put up silly numbers in April as Ledmus Diaz takes a strike.
We're actually going to have a feature on Seth Beer coming up in an Astros bases loaded. That's right. Threw my promotion in there. No, I did sit down with him in spring training, though. Got to know him a little bit better.
That's going to be a popular jersey.
Someone to watch, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Only if it's number 30.
Well, I asked him about that.
Here's a pop-up. Long run for Crone, looking at the stands, and he's going to run out of room. You asked him about the Beer 30 jersey?
Yeah, I had to ask him, why. He was wearing 3. So I asked him, why not 30? I'm sure you get this all the time, but just so fans know. And he kind of looked at me like I was crazy. So I guess he doesn't get that question all the time.
Wow.
He wasn't really all that thrilled about it.
Got to embrace it, don't you?
It won't be a popular jersey, that's for sure.
I think I've already seen one. I think
Really? You can make them, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We had a fan show up at one of the Astrolines in the offseason with one. So
Well done.
they're out there. Little check swing, mistake swing, but Ledmus still alive at 1-2. Astros leading 7-0, scoring 6 of their 7 runs since Julia joined us up in the booth in the 5th inning. 2 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. That's up and in. It's 2-2. Ledmus coming into tonight had hit .308 over his last 9 games. Looking for his first hit tonight. There's a ball up the middle, off the bag. It may have grazed the bag. A Scope hung in there for it and makes the play for out number 1.
Join us for Mother's Day at the ballpark, and be sure to get here early for the Astros-Ranger game as 10,000 fans receive an Astros clutch presented by Houston Methodist. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/promotions.
My mom's paying attention. Trying to get her down for that weekend.
You just saw them on the last road trip, right?
I did. They haven't been to Houston yet, though. It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yep.
Gotta spend it at the ballpark.
Here's Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos got the 4-run 6th inning started with a single in the left field. Scored on the Jake Marisnick home run. He's also walked and popped up. Matt McGill ahead 0-2. Normally you do your A.J. Hinch interviews on Fridays, but there's no Friday game this week.
No, you're right. No covering all the bases.
Just not going to happen.
It is not going to happen. No pregame show.
Wow.
We'll pick it up next week.
The only other time you get a Friday off is if you start the season on a Thursday in a city where you could have a rain out or a snow out. And then you have that next day off. Robinson Chirinos hooking one down the left field line, and just a little quick on that as he had home run distance but foul. That fan in the heated area is happy about that foul ball. called third strike. McGill picks up his second strikeout, 2 outs in the 7th. Here's Jake, fresh off the 2-run home run. Jake was the last batter Michael Pineda faced. Pineda goes 5 innings plus 2 batters. Allowed 9 hits and 5 runs tonight against the Astros. Gerrit Cole sitting at 93 pitches. There's no bullpen action, so Cole will get at least part of, if not the whole 7th inning for A.J. Hinch. Two and 1 the count. Alberto Mejia warming up in the Twins bullpen. Crone gives it a look, but that's out of play.
Is there a room back there for relievers to warm up or get warm?
I think what you see is what you get.
Really?
I'm sure there's restrooms out there, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a cozy place.
There are bullpens, though, that have
some of them
either
do, yeah.
AC or heat.
Jake goes down swinging, final out of the 7th inning. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 7th for Matt McGill. Astros lead 7-0. Gerrit Cole back out for the bottom half. Time to kick it back to Kevin Eschenfelder, Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
Royals game month 6. 15,000 fans will receive the exclusive Hugs for Homers dual bobblehead presented by Bank of America. For more info and tickets, visit astros.com/promotions. That's going to be popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Kemp got to celebrate with everybody after his walk-off the other day. New first baseman for the Astros is Tyler White. Aledmus Diaz moves to second. Jose Altuve's night is done. As Eddie Rosario leads off and takes one down low for a ball, 1-0. Rosario's fly to center and fly to left. Rolls one towards second. Diaz gets a little backhand flip with the glove and runs into Gerrit Cole. Says thanks for the help with that play. How about Aledmus Diaz switching positions, new glove, and making that fancy play to start the inning.
But you can see that Aledmus Diaz is a little more comfortable playing up the middle. Did a great job charging straight in on this with the backhand flip, able to get Rosario. And how about Gerrit Cole got stuck watching and enjoying that play and almost got run over by Diaz. It was nicely done.
That's one way to keep your hand warm. Don't use it. Aledmus looks as cold as anybody out there. There's a strike to C.J. Crone. He's had a tough night with Gerrit Cole. A couple of strikeouts swinging. And he's been down in the count all 3 times.
Speaking of guys who don't like the cold, Yuli Gurriel is not a fan.
I think Yuli was okay with his day off today.
He was completely fine with hanging out by the heater tonight. On the heated bench.
AJ's genius.
He knows what he's doing.
Swing and a miss. Crone goes down for the 3rd time against Gerrit Cole. That's 10 strikeouts tonight for Cole. And 2 outs in the 7th inning. Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Here are today's clues. Happy birthday. His presents wrapped in scrap. Or did he get iron?
Too easy.
Happy birthday.
Layup.
Happy birthday.
Layup. Name That Astro, presented by Nissan.
Happy birthday to that Astro, is what I should say.
Right. Is your birthday week still going?
God, no.
Ended on the flight?
Yeah.
Julia's extended for like 2 cities, I think. Here's a 1-on-1 count.
It was a 3-city road trip, wasn't it?
Did it extend all the way to Texas?
Oh, yeah. It's a birthday road trip.
That was a 10-day birthday song.
Mine was over the next day because my triplets had their birthday party the next day.
That's not fair.
Oh, welcome to the Blum household.
You've got some birthdays coming up.
Yeah,
House a big party?
No, that's what I'm saying.
What,
they threw it on Saturday.
Okay.
They took over
already?
his birthday weekend with their own party.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be there.
Goes, yeah.
He's not going to be there for this.
Well, it's on Friday. They didn't want to do anything on Friday night, so they threw it on Saturday night over the weekend.
Swing and a miss. Give Gerrit Cole 11 strikeouts tonight. Colt 45 has been rolling along. 7-0 Astros. Nissan, tonight's clues, happy birthday. And then he presents his presents wrapped in scrap. Or did he get iron? Scrap iron birthday. Happy birthday to Phil Gardner. 70 years old today. World Series champion with the Pirates in 79. Managed the Astros in 2005. Tonight's Name That Astro.
One of the all-time great baseball people, too. He's done some consulting work with the Oakland A's in recent years. It's always good to see him around the ballpark.
Long talk between Gerrit Cole and his manager A.J. Hinch in between innings, as Cole looks like his night is done after 7 innings of one-hit shutout baseball. Alberto Mejia takes over for the Twins. You know, this 7 innings of one-hit baseball kind of snuck up on you because he started so slow with those 2 walks, and then next thing you know, he only allowed 2 more runners the rest of the way.
He was filthy. He finally warmed up and got a feel for his pitches and found the location on fastball, slider, a couple of changeups mixed in there, but that was a dominating performance from Gerrit Cole this evening.
Josh James warming up. And Cole and AJ still having a discussion. I think Gerrit loves having a little chat about what went well, what didn't go well after his starts.
He's always talking. He's always talking to hitters. He's always talking to his fellow pitchers. He loves to talk the game, and then he's so smart. And I know we get to talk to him a lot more than fans get to hear him talk about baseball. But he's got a lot of knowledge, and the Justin Verlander Gerrit Cole conversations are probably incredible if he were to be a fly on the wall, because they get so in depth on pitching.
He only allowed the 1 hit on a changeup. Max Kepler doubling off the wall. And really, like Plummer said, after those initial 2 walks, he was just locked in. All of a sudden, he got that double play on the smash to Correa, and that
was huge.
That set him in the right direction.
He needed to be picked up in that situation, and Carlos definitely did with that double play.
Yeah, you wonder if he was thinking, oh, not again. I mean, he's been through some tough first innings this year, and has fought his way back in some of them, and then had the disastrous inning, if you will, for him in Arlington. So he's kind of been through that this year, and for him to just dominate after not really having it those first couple of batters, he's got to be pleased with himself. Although he's probably not happy about the walks. I'll hear about it shortly.
The 3 walks, or the 2 walks to start.
Yeah.
George walks. He's on base for the 3rd time.
That's what's been most impressive for me about Gerrit Cole is that's now his 6th quality start in 7 starts. So he is giving you length, and he's keeping you in ball games.
4th time he struck out 10 or more of his 7 starts. And he ends his record before the month of May with 64 strikeouts, topping his mark he set last year was 61 before May 1st. Here's Tyler White getting his first at bat, hitting in Jose Altuve's spot. White with a count of 2-0.
Thinking back to last year when the calendar turned to May, it was before he had the performance against Arizona, struck out 16 that day, but before that we were just getting to know Gerrit, and coming in we had heard about his struggles with the home run the year before, and how he was really trying to use that four-seam fastball a lot more. And
White gets into one towards left field. This is going to be off the top of the wall. Heading to third is Springer. White will hold up with a single. Astros in business again.
all I got to do is start talking.
Go ahead. Your story.
Hey, your game.
Your story time.
No, but thinking back, when we were getting to know Gerrit, and he was really having a lot of success, but so was everyone else in that starting rotation too, and I don't think we really appreciated what we were getting so early from Gerrit, and then it continued all year. And I think that starting rotation of 2018 it was a little bit underrated. Like, we almost didn't talk about it enough because of what they were doing was so special, but a lot of it was Gerrit Cole because of what he did every fifth day. He was incredible. And we're seeing it. I mean, that was a glimpse of what we saw last year. It was seriously almost every fifth day he dominated like that.
Yeah, that was a special performance tonight for sure. Those 5 guys pitched the first 125 games last year too. They did not miss a start between Cole and Verlander and Morton, Keuchel, McCullers until that Brad Peacock start we referenced earlier tonight.
I mean, Miley's been so big for this team, I think, just being, what do you call him? I mean, he's almost just, we expected him to come in and be good. He's had success last year, but it's almost like a stabilizer, if you will, in that rotation this time around.
Bregman almost hit with that pitch. It's 2-0.
Someone you can count on.
We're going to go out and talk to Mejia. He has not had very good control in this inning, and the Astros taking advantage. Wes Johnson in the middle of a 2-0 count, going to check in with his left-handed reliever.
He was looking back to the dugout. I don't know if he's looking for a trainer or a translator, but something is not right, because if you're going out with Mejia later tonight, you're not going to pick him to be on your dart throwing team, because it's been all over the place with some of the stuff that he has.
Fans are going to be disappointed in reading this promo. Enjoy a peaceful afternoon game at the ballpark on Mother's Day, then stick around for relaxing post-game yoga in the outfield. Yoga Day attendees receive 45 minutes of professionally instructed yoga and a yoga mat presented by Houston Methodist. And if you're lucky, maybe Plummer will swing by and lead one of your groups. To get your ticket add-on package, visit astros.com/yoga today.
I'm in.
I'm going to do the Cobra pose, or...
Tree is my favorite.
Yoga's popular with the Astros.
Really?
Yeah, they do it really early. They take over that press conference room.
Yep.
How many?
It was big in spring training, too. Oh, that's a great question. How many?
Roughly. Doesn't have to be.
We lost one. Charlie Morton was a big yogi.
Carlos Correa is huge. It's big, really good for his back. Jake Marisnick, a yogi.
Does he have khaki yoga pants?
Bregman with a 3-0 count takes a strike.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh at that. Because it was that bad.
When Bregman hit the home run last time, he did give a stare. He just gave it to the Twins camera, not ours. That's what happens when Julian moves from downstairs to the booth. That one's a strike on the corner. It's 3-2. Springer with a walk out, and then Tyler White with a single. And Bregman gets called out on a strike to the knees. Alex asked Bill Miller if he's sure that was a strike, because he thought he drew a walk, but he goes back to the dugout. Out number 1.
That was a good conversation from the Twins pitching coach.
Yeah, came back from a 2-0 count.
Unreal.
Here's Michael Brantley, 2 for 4 tonight. He could easily be 4 for 4. Lined out his first 2 times up and hit one off Pineda's leg as third time up and doubled his last time. One and one the count.
It's a big night for Cole all the way around, racking up the strikeouts, setting a new record before May 1st. He's also got his ERA back under 4, 3.95, and you're also could be a big night for the manager, A.J. Hinch.
That's right.
Could move into a tie for third all time in managerial wins. Right behind Art Howe starting the night.
His former manager, his first major league manager. How cool is that?
He's got a chance to be number one by the end of next year. Could pass Durker sometime this year for second. He ties Howe tonight, and then next W will put him into third solo. And then Bill Burton is the number one in that category, and AJ could get there by the end of next year if this team keeps playing well. Franklin tries to hold up, and he does. 2-2. How about the combination though of Verlander and Cole against a Twins team that hit 12 home runs over the weekend? They combined for 13 innings and allowed 3 hits to this Twins offense. Now it's 3-2.
Doesn't there have to be a little bit of a disclaimer in there? As good as those guys are, you expect them to dominate and pitch well, but the Twins facing the Baltimore Orioles again. In 6 games, they've hit 23 home runs. It's a little bit of a discrepancy in starting staffs.
It's the exact same scenario they basically had coming into that series at Minute Maid Park. They were flying high. They had just hit the ball out of the ballpark at Camden Yards, and they lost that first game to the Astros in that series, and the Astros came back to win the next 2. They were flying high coming out of that series this past weekend against Baltimore. They didn't do much offensively, but they got a great start out of Odorizzi and won that first game, and now the Astros bouncing back with a good one tonight. How about Carlos Correa batting with the bases loaded?
This could be fun.
I think it's time for Julia to start.
Well, I was just going to say, if we know what we're doing, we're just going to go quiet right here and let Julia go.
Well, if there's ever a stadium Correa should find an opportunity to hit his first grand slam, it could be this one. Career .426 hitter with 5 home runs at Target Field, including, plus he's 2 for 4 tonight, 2 RBIs.
There's a couple guys on this team that really do enjoy hitting here.
Have they given any explanation why?
A couple of them have said batter's eye.
Yeah, we kind of hinted at that yesterday. Mixed it up.
They did change it up back there.
It's the living wall now.
It used to just be black back there, right? Real dark.
Yeah. Like
Chase Field's kind of like that.
T-Mobile up in Seattle. That real monolithic black background.
All right, here we go. 2-1, or excuse me, 3-0. Correa with a sac fly in the 5th. RBI single in the 6th inning, and now bases loaded, 3-0 count. He probably wouldn't have mounted a strike there, but he gets a bases loaded walk. 8-0 Astros on Carlos Correa's 3rd consecutive plate appearance with an RBI. George Springer comes in to score his 2nd run tonight. Rocco Baldelli will go out and get Alberto Mejia, who walked 3 in this inning and is having trouble throwing strikes. Back with more after this.
It is an icy cold evening here in Minnesota, but not for the Astros bats. One way to avoid having some hurt hands is getting the barrel to it and then having some fun in the dugout. The stare is back and in good form. Jake from Rake Farm getting the start tonight. Going deep himself. was paying off for him, and then Alex Bregman getting in on the action, ambushing a first pitch fastball and launching that into the wind section. He even found himself a little stare, huh, TK?
We got that from the Twins TV crew. The guys are so used to going to the outfield, and we have the inside position in this series. So yeah, Bregman paying off the home run with his own stare as Josh Reddick faces Ryan Harper here with the bases loaded and 1 out in an 8-0 game.
It's good to see the guys having some fun in the dugout. There's some severe concern in the Twitterverse that these guys aren't having enough fun.
Is that right?
Yeah, but you got to go out there and get your hits, score some runs, and hit some bombs to go out there and have some fun.
It's tough to have fun in a 1-0 loss.
Yeah, it really is.
Harper's the guy that the Astros saw back at Minute Maid Park. 30-year-old who will drop that breaking ball in at less than 70 miles an hour. There is the slow breaking ball at 68. Reddick puts it in play, and everybody's going to be safe. That's how it's going for the Astros tonight. A run crosses the plate on a little dribbler off the bat of Josh Reddick. He'll get an RBI single out of that one. It's 9-0.
It's like a wonderfully executed push bunt.
This is to that point of the night where the Twins look like they wouldn't mind saying, let's fight another battle tomorrow. It is not going well for them. Here's Aledmys Diaz. Want to know the count?
Yeah, this is turning into Memorial Day-esque.
Walk, single, walk, walk. Infield single. And Diaz now is the base is loaded. Want to start a story, Julia? 8 runs since he's been up here.
And Aledmys wants a hit.
I wish I could take some credit for some of that, or any of it, but I can't. Come on. It was only a matter of time before those bats heated up. They have
like to see a good
industrial-sized
stretch.
heaters down there, right next to the bat rack.
Slow breaking ball. Diaz fouls it back. 68-mile-an-hour breaking ball. That's what Reddick hit. All smiles in the Astros dugout.
Reddick actually hit that ball slower off the bat than the pitch came in at 68 miles an hour.
Seriously?
49.1 miles an hour. Not going to get pulled over with that.
He's had a couple of those tonight. The other one may have been less exit velocity than that one.
It was.
Really?
48.3.
Smoked.
What a DH.
Oh, just smashing the baseball.
All he knows is he's 3 for 5 and Baggy loves it. This ball pretty well hit to center field, well enough that it'll score another run. Tagging and scoring will be Brantley. He'll jog home. Tony Kemp into the game. He's pitch running for Carlos Correa. He scoots over to third. Astros now with double digits. It's 10-0 on the Diaz sac fly.
Are you following AT&T Sportsnet on social media? Get in-game Astros highlights, exclusive player interviews, and much more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our new Instagram account for the latest on the Astros all season long.
Aledmys Diaz drives in the run. And here's Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. On the ground short. Polanco's throw is wide. Crone's off the bag. Everybody's safe. Another run's going to score. 11-0 as Kemp crosses the plate. Twins make another error here on this cold Tuesday night.
This has gotten ugly. Polanco having some issues at shortstop. Had plenty of time, just yanked the throw. C.J. Cron doing everything he can to stay on the bag, but once he was pulled off, there was no way to get back before Chirinos could get to the bag.
Well, Jacob battle again. Jake hitting one of the 3 home runs for the Astros. His second on the season. In this inning, the Astros have scored 4 runs and have just 2 hits. 2 men on. Three walks and an error in the mix. Astros out hitting the Twins tonight 14-1. Now Reddick's 2 exit velocity hits are the lowest exit velocity of any ball in play tonight. So in his first night as a DH for the Astros, results are great, the analytics not great. Combined 48-3 and 49-1, less than 100 miles an hour on those 2 hits. Into center field, shallow. Buxton will come on in and he puts it away. And that inning will end. Astros send 9 men to the plate and lead 11-0.
Is brought to you by TXU Energy. Let's take a look back at Gerrit Cole's night, shall we? Started off a little shaky, walked the first 2 batters of the game, struggled to find his command, and then after that, he pretty much just dominated the Twins. The 7 innings pitch didn't allow that first hit of the game until the 6th. Everything was working for him. Fastball was good, slider was good, curveball was good. 11 punch-outs today. Set a new record for the month of April. Start to the season,
before
yeah.
May 1st.
Yeah.
Before May 1st.
So
64.
Yep.
Yikes. He's just getting started.
It's amazing he wasn't a strikeout pitcher for the Pirates.
Right?
Plummer and I have that conversation a lot. New pitcher is Josh James.
Last pitched on the 26th. Went an inning, gave up a couple of runs, looking to shut this thing out for the Houston Astros here late, giving A.J. Hinch hopefully a couple of innings.
Yeah, let's see if James can get back in the strike zone a little bit tonight. It's been an issue for him. This is with that breaking ball down and in. It's 1-1. So if you're a Minnesota Twins player and you're down 11-0 and you've just gone from Gerrit Cole throwing 97, 98, now you get Josh James.
Well, it's a cold night. You're looking to heat up, right? So go ahead and bring it at 98 miles an hour.
Not a fun night to be a hitter.
Not at all.
Especially facing those 2 guys.
Yeah, but you're right, though. They just spent, what, a good about 20 minutes out in the ice cold out there. Then you got to be the leadoff hitter against this guy coming in. Like you said, hasn't been exactly accurate with some of those pitches. We're seeing it here with 96 well out of the zone.
But you've got to get it ready to stay off those hands against Josh James.
The thing that's been crazy about James is he'll go an inning and he'll struggle, and then he'll come back the next inning and strike out all 3.
Yeah, he has that bounce back to him.
But that's been too often the scenario is early on walking guys in his outing.
Exactly. He actually talked to the media after that last outing saying, you know, I've been through stretches like this before and I've been able to get out of them. It's just little ruts that I get myself into, and then I've got to go through kind of a checklist to make sure everything's right and watch some video just to get myself back on track. He says, you know, with that experience, he's been able to do it. The thing is, he's in the big leagues now trying to do it.
Castro swings the first pitch and pops one up in the shallow left. Brantley will call off Bregman. Bregman's gone to the hoodie here late in the game.
Play ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making opportunities to play available and fun for everyone. To find a youth organization near you, go to playball.org/playballnearyou.
1 on, 1 out. Byron Buxton will bat. Astros changing up the infield a little bit. Tony Kemp getting a chance to play second base. Haven't seen him in second this year. He's in second, and Aledmus Diaz moved from second to short. So Aledmus started at first, moved to second. Now he's at short. I don't think there's any other configurations that could get him to third.
Why not put Bregman at short?
There's a high fly ball to left field, but Brantley camps under. That's true. You could switch him out next inning. 2 away. So at this point, Julia, you lock in on who you want for your post-game guest?
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit.
Because you have so many options.
I do. Some of them have been taken out of the game too, so they're going to be quick to the clubhouse.
So that's the other thing. You have to get a guy who's finishing 9 innings.
Right, someone that's on the field, distracted by high-fiving his teammates, so I can swoop in.
Can you give us a hint? Who are your candidates? Is Jake a possibility?
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, Jake in the mix.
Jake's in the mix.
Man, we've got options.
George had a good game. Bregman.
Forgot I had to go back outside.
Hey, your day's not done.
I gotta put my coat back on.
You gotta layer up.
Supposed to be chilly again tomorrow.
As cold?
7 o'clock game.
It's supposed to be as cold as tonight?
I think so.
I think the rain's out of the question, but it's going to be chilly.
There's a base hit through the hole between first and second, going first to third. Will be Adrianza as Max Kepler has the only 2 hits tonight for the Twins. A single here in the 8th. Coming up after the game, it'll be the Astros post-game show presented by Whataburger. Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton will host. Twins got Gerrit Cole at his best tonight. 7 innings of 1 hit, 11 strikeout baseball. And the Astros with 3 home runs. Julia gathering an interview both on the field and in the clubhouse afterwards. Jorge Polanco walk and 2 strikeouts. Kepler with the only 2 hits tonight. Astros pitchers have walked 4, 3 by Cole and 1 by James. Now Polanco with a 2-0 count. Polanco walked and struck out twice. 4-pitch walk. Second walk issued by James. Bases will be loaded. AJ does not want to see anybody else in this game. He would like Josh James to get the final 6 out.
Yeah, you definitely, especially if you're down in that bullpen, you do not want that phone to ring.
Uh-oh.
This is not good.
You talked about the abilities for hitters to get loose. Pitchers have that same issue. And James trying to stay loose on this cold night. They're just going to check with him.
Seems to be laboring a little bit, leaning on that backside, but I know Chirinos just went out there to have the conversation, trying to get him back in. Brent Strom coming out of the dugout now. This is an interesting meeting.
Meyer, the assistant athletic trainer, out there to check on Josh.
But they've got to be charged with the mound visit with the initial visit from Chirinos, correct?
I mean, he called out the training staff. So we'll see what Bill Miller says on his way back to the plate. This might not be a mound visit.
Yeah, but Chirinos' initial was to go out there and talk to him after walking. Second batter in the inning. Yep, he's calling one mound visit for the Houston Astros. Even though that AJ, Brent Strom, and the training staff are out there to check on him.
So the bases will be loaded, and Jake Cave will get a pinch hit appearance here for Nelson Cruz. Cave played in last night's game. Went 0 for 3 against Justin Verlander and Hector Rondon. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom half of the 8th inning in an 11-0 game.
The velocity's all right, 98 miles an hour on that pitch from Josh James. Again, just a command issue. We saw Framber Valdez kind of turn things around here in the last couple of ball games for AJ Hinch, giving him multiple innings, strong innings in that Cleveland series.
Well, the Astros did not want to get anybody else up and warming, but I believe they will here. Bases loaded and 2 outs in the 8th. Looks like Chris Davinsky begins to warm up.
Oh man, I was walking around downtown yesterday, and I turned the corner at that Nicolette Mall downtown, and sure enough, I see this guy literally carrying a suitcase in each hand.
Come on.
I swear to goodness. And if I was a little bit quicker on my feet, I would have taken a picture, because I was dying laughing, because I wanted to take a picture of this guy and ask him if he was related to Devo. Because he literally looked just like Devo walking off the mound after a couple of strikeouts. Both suitcases, one in each hand, and was just power walking through Nicolette Mall here in Minnesota. And it was one of the best sights I've seen in a long time.
What were you doing walking around the mall?
It's outside mall. I was going to get food. I went over and got some toiletries.
It's 40 degrees outside.
That's her point. It's an outside wall.
Yeah, I had a jacket. I had some.
It was
I had
today?
some nice. No, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had some nice gear on yesterday. All loaded up.
I don't leave the Skyway.
Yeah, well,
I'm soft.
if I went in the Skyway, I would be the same way, because I would not leave it because I wouldn't know how to get out of it.
That human
I
habit
got
trail
lost
can
on
be
the
a
Skyway
little,
today.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing. That ball almost hit Cave. Instead, he went around swinging. That'll be a strikeout for Josh James. I think Julia's leaving us.
Yeah, got to get ready for an interview.
Good job, Julia.
Thank you, guys.
Killed it.
Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Rooms to Go. Great prices, fast delivery, and pay only $10 per month. Ninth inning baseball has been all Astros tonight on this chilly Tuesday evening here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julia Morales. Thank Julia for being up here for a few innings. Plummer and I the rest of the way as George Springer will get to hit again. He's been up to the plate 6 times now. Facing a new pitcher here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, Fernando Romero, number 77, out of that bullpen for Rocco Baldelli, trying to finish this thing off and get those Astros back in the dugout. But the way they've been swinging, that might be a tall task. Romero throws hard, averages just over 96.5 miles an hour with his fastball. George getting ready on that 97 right down the middle, a little upset with himself for missing it. Also has a changeup and a slider.
George has been on base 3 times. Double, home run, and a walk. Knocked in the first 2 runs for the Astros. Also scored a couple of runs. Saw Romero get called up on that recent 3-game series at Minute Maid Park. Twins go to their 5th pitcher tonight. Pineda, McGill, Mejia, Harper, and now Romero. George goes down swinging. Be the first out here in the 9th inning. Tyler White will get his 2nd at bat. He came on part of a switch there in the 7th inning with Aledmus Diaz moving from 1st to 2nd and White taking over an Altuve spot in the lineup. He singled off the wall his last time up. And he takes one at the knees at 96. Devo keeps warming, so it looks like Chris Davinsky will be on in the 9th inning for the Astros. Astros shut out last night 1-0. Trying to return the favor on the Twins tonight. Counts now 3-2 on Tyler White. Alex Bregman waits on deck. Strike 3 called. Romero's come in and struck out. Springer swinging, and now Tyler White looking.
Time now to reveal the results of our Chevy Stroll poll. Y'all remember that one? Who was your Astros Player of the Month for April? And how about Roberto Osuna, the closer for the Houston Astros, with a .7 ERA and 7-7 in save opportunities, running away with it, 15% more than George Springer, who had 19 RBI and 18 runs scored in the month of April. Pretty impressive stuff. He has been locked down at the back end of that bullpen.
Now the 8th, 9th inning combo has been unbelievable for the Houston Astros. Probably won't see them tonight, but those 2 guys have been absolute money whenever called on Ryan Presley and Roberto Osuna. Presley could have gotten some votes too.
Absolutely. Yeah, if he put Presley and Osuna on there, he might have just cleaned it out as far as players of the month of April.
Julia caught up with Ryan Presley in an interview today in his former home stadium here at Target Field. Bregman batting here in the 9th inning. Alex has a 1-for-5 night going with a couple of strikeouts. Astros scored 5 against the starter Pineda, 2 against Matt McGill in 2 innings of work. Alberto Mejia struggled with his command. He walked 3 of the 5 batters he faced. He allowed 4 runs in a third of an inning. And that's the total of 11. Bregman on base with 2 outs. The last thing you want if you're Bill Miller is that in an 11-0 game on a 40-degree night.
How does he even feel it? He's been out there with no sleeves on the entire night.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he is definitely thinking that. I am with you on that. There is no way this feels good at all.
Not good.
Right in the bicep or the front part of that elbow.
Said I haven't felt my right arm since the 5th inning.
Yeah. That'll wake it up.
Oh, just no good anytime, and especially on a night like tonight.
Yeah, that squared him up. And we talked about Romero throwing pretty hard.
Life of an umpire. It is tough back there. Michael Brantley's been on base 3 consecutive times, single, double, and walk. Lined out his first 2 times tonight. Astros sent 7 men to the plate in the 5th inning, 8 men to the plate in the 6th, 9 men to the plate in the 8th. That's why these guys are batting for the 6th time tonight. There is going to be a base hit into right center field. Bregman will just take it 1 base at a time in this 11-0 game. Michael Brantley, a 3 for 5 night.
Could have been 5 for 5.
Right. Easily.
First 2 plate appearances he had, he hit rockets to right field and to the first baseman. But he finishes off his 9th with a base hit here for that 3rd knock.
So what that does is give Tony Kemp an at bat. Tony Kemp came on as a pinch runner for Carlos Correa after Correa knocked in his 3rd run of the evening. Michael Brantley's never had a 5-hit game.
That's right. I'm gonna hold on to those while I can, TK.
Hey, you've got Tuve and Brantley. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. You know what else is pretty good? The last time Tony Kemp swung the bat, he walked him off. TK with a great call on that one Saturday afternoon. Turned out to be a pretty good series for the Astros, fighting back to split that series.
Big home run for Kemp. That was a game the Astros really wanted. They'd used Presley for an inning and 2/3 innings, and then Roberto Osuna pitched 2 innings for the first time in his Astros career. And they were able to win it with that walk-off against Adam Simber. Kemp down to the count 1-2, lost a high pop-up. Adrianza in foul territory puts it away. We head to the bottom of the 9th. 11-0, and Devo will be on.
More is presented by AB. How about some homers? George Springer launching a laser into left field, gets himself a hug and a stare. Then it was Jake Marisnick. Different kind of Cupid shuffle tonight. Those guys hitting bombs together. Jake and George, very good friends. And then Alex Bregman with the breaks hit to left field, getting in on the act with first pitch fastball. Showing off some of the skills in the dugout with some fun. That strut that he's been known for. Been a good night for the Houston Astros offense, and Josh James out of the game. Chris Davinsky in this ball game to finish things off for the Houston Astros.
Of all the guys in the bullpen, you knew Devo would not have sleeves.
The Southern California kid.
Just his mentality.
Yep, I agree.
One pitch and a sky-high pop-up into center field. Jake comes all the way in. Jake's gone hoodie now. We're almost more than half hoodies all the way around defensively. And we're going to finish up our Twitter theme tonight, which was memorabilia. Blummer.
Very nice. I appreciate you posting that one. Looks good in those pinstripes. Oh, man.
Game-worn Blummer cleats.
How about that? Never giving them up. That's awesome.
Remember wearing those? Those are old school.
They were the old,
Nike
like
Air
original molded, yeah. Back when we had to write our numbers on Sharpie on the shoe. They all have them stitched in there now. We weren't that good back then. We had to write our names on them.
The shoe game is so strong now.
It's impressive. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys be able to go out there and do that. But yeah, we were pretty basic back in the day.
How about Devo coming out here and saying, I don't care how cold it is, I'm going to throw strikes. He got the first out on the first pitch, and now he's ahead 0-2 on C.J. Cron. Cron has not had an enjoyable night. He faced Gerrit Cole 3 times and struck out all 3 times, and he was down to the count all 3 of those. Now it's 2-2. There's a ball punched into center. Jake coming on, still coming, a diving effort in an 11-0 game. Jake doesn't care. What a play by Marisnick on a freezing cold night. Devo loves that effort.
C.J. Cron hates this game right now. But I tell you what, Jake from Rake Farm, we showed you the home run. And how about a little bit of Jake from Take Farm? Taking away hits out there in center field, still laying out. That has got to be an icy cold slide across that grass in the outfield.
Good distance on the slip and slide.
Very solid. Good launch angle.
How many feet on the StatCast slide?
Right?
Oh, that's a lot of ground right there.
Dressed it up nicely.
Good poise.
Right?
Pose.
Yeah, you got to have that finishing pose.
And now he can't wait to get in the clubhouse because he's drenched.
Yeah, that front of the jersey now is a little moist and freezing.
On cue. 2-0 the count to Jonathan Scope. He's like, please, Devo, throw some strikes here, although he does throw a strike and gives up a base hit. So there's the 3rd hit of the night for the Minnesota Twins. Jonathan Scope, a 2-out base hit. You gotta love that Jake going all out in an 11-0 game in the 9th inning.
Absolutely. Wow, a couple of Hall of Famers right there.
How about that collection?
Oh, man. That is strong to quite strong.
Ground ball. This should do it. Fielded there by Aledmys Diaz, and the game is over. Astros pound out 15 hits and score 11 runs tonight. 3 home runs in the mix. Jake Marisnick, a great catch, and the outfielders can laugh as they come in on this cold night. Winners 11-0. It took 3 hours and 18 minutes in front of 12,181. Alex Bregman looks thrilled with the victory. We'll be back. We'll be back with more after this.